So if you want your questions answered, come on over to YouTube. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. I'll continue to answer questions over here on TikTok until YouTube starts to fill up a little bit. Sutton or Emmanuel Sanders, I would go with Emmanuel Sanders. Sutton or Pollard, Sutton, Renfro or Booker, Watkins or the back. I don't know how to say his last name. The backup from what's his face, Denver. I don't even remember who the first guy was. Yo, what's up, dudes? What's up? What up? What up in chat? What up in chat? Gaskin or Damian Harris? I would go with Gaskin. What's up? Tua or Jones? I would go with Tua. Waddle, AJ Brown, Mike Williams or Tony? I would go AJ Brown. Yes, sir. Yo, what up? Tony or Jacoby Myers or Hubbard? I would go with Tony. Good morning, Tyler. How's it going, man? I'm good. How are you doing? Boston Scott, a good play? Yes. I love you at Aspire Sports. Oh, thanks. What's up, Aspire? Yo, what up, everybody? Kirk or Myers? I would go with Kirk. Khalil Herbert or Elijah Mitchell? Elijah Mitchell. Thoughts on Brandon Ayuk? Meh. Debo's going to play today, I think. Woods or Debo? Debo. Jimmy G or Jordan Love? I'd take my shot on Jordan Love. Real quick. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. And if you're on YouTube, do me a big favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. And let's get to it. All right. Also, good morning. What's up, everybody? How you feel about CD and Hopkins today? I just saw Hopkins. They don't expect them to play today. Actually, Kyler and Hopkins, they don't expect them to play today. So I would plan otherwise. I like CD and Debo, though. Marvin Jones or Bateman? Marvin Jones. Khalil Herbert or Chase Claypool? Well, if Dave Montgomery does not play, I would go Khalil Herbert, otherwise Claypool. And at least you'll know with those two guys. CMC or Elijah Mitchell? I would go with CMC. Kyler or Dak? I would go with Dak. And CMC or Woods? CMC. Cole Beasley or Christian Kirk? Cole Beasley. Jarrell Williams or Myles Gaskin? I would go with Myles Gaskin. Mitchell, Van Jefferson, Bateman. Pick 2, full point PPR. I would go with Mitchell and Bateman. Thoughts on Marvin Jones? Tough matchup, but they should be playing from behind early and often, so I like them this week. Randy Bullock or Jason Sanders? Jason Sanders. Sutton or Claypool? I'd rather go with Sutton there. What's up, Tyler? Moss or Jarrell Williams? If James Robinson doesn't play, I would go with Jarrell Williams. I don't think James Robinson is going to play. I don't think he's going to play. So I would play Jarrell Williams. CMC or Booker? CMC. Jerry Jeudy or Landry? Jerry Jeudy for me. Tannehill or Carr? I would go with Carr. Should I start A.J. Brown, Claypool, or McNichols? I would go A.J. Brown. Cole Beasley or Tony? I would go with Cole Beasley. And real quick, another quick little plug. If you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're over on YouTube. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile. Go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over. Get your questions answered. Mahomes or Herbert. Jordan Love or Kirk Cousins. And if I'm not answering your questions, I'm going to say this one time here. You can see the guys in chat. They have a green name tag. They also have a badge next to the names. Those guys are members. Okay, you can sign up to be a member. It's $2.99. You sign up to be a member. Number one thing that you get your questions answered 100% of the time. Also, super chats are available. You get your questions answered 100% of the time as well. All right, so let's get to it. Higgins or Woods? Higgins. Jordan Love or Kirk? Gaskin or Cooks? I would go Gaskin. Hunter Renfrow or Devontae Booker? I would go Devontae Booker. Javonte Hyde or McNichols? With James Robinson looking like he's going to be out, I would go with Carlos Hyde. Conklin or Kittle? I would go Kittle. If Elijah Mitchell is on a snap count because of rib injury, would you start McNichols, AP, or Scott? No, I'd fire up Elijah Mitchell today. Cordell or Henderson? I would go Henderson. Conklin or Kittle? Zach Ertz or Dan Arnold? I would go Dan Arnold today. Tony Allen or Claypool? I would go with Keenan Allen. My fantasy app says that Mitchell might not play a full game. Do I still play him in the flex? Yeah, I would still play Mitchell today. Mike Williams, Darrell Henderson, or Devontae Adams? Sheesh. Only one of them? I would go with Darrell Henderson, honestly. Goddard or Schultz? I would go with Schultz. Mixon or Patterson? Mixon. Sanders or Landry? Sanders. Mitchell, Judy, or Tony? I would go with Judy. Marvin Jones or Bateman? I would go with Marvin Jones. Just got back from dinner with Obama. What's up, Tyler? Yo, what up, Clan? How do you think in Waller will do? How you thinking Waller will do rest of the season? I like Waller. I think he'll be fine for the rest of the season. I picked 2, MJJ, Tony, Devontae Smith, Marvin Jones Jr. Okay, that's Marvin Jones Jr. I would go with Tony and Marvin Jones Jr. CMC, Debo, Justin Jefferson, pick 2. Oof. CMC and Debo. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Keenan Allen. Jalen Waddle, Jalen Waddle, Emmanuel Sanders, or your boy, Nathan Peterman in the flex. Only one of them? I would go with Nathan Peterman. Nah, psych. I would go with Jalen Waddle today. Chuba or Brian Evers? Brian Evers. Hurts or Herbert? I would go with Hurts. Pick 2, we got Tony Renfro, Drake. Tony Renfro. Is Robinson out yet? I don't believe he's officially out, but they said he's unlikely to play. Brian Edwards or Rondell Moore? Brian Edwards. Let's go get some boys. Yeah, let's hit that like button. Smash that like button. Let's get up to 30 likes. There's over 60 people in here, only 12 likes. We can definitely get up to 30. So smash that like button if you want good karma today. Win your fantasy football matchups. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Not as busy. Get your questions answered. I mean, it is pretty busy, but you have a better chance of getting your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over. Chuba or Adrian Peterson? Adrian Peterson. Claypool or Tony? I would go with Tony there. Burrow or Jordan Love? I would go with Burrow. Pick 2, Mitchell, CMC, or Boston Scott? Mitchell and CMC. McNichols or Tony? I would go Tony. Herbert or Peterson? I'm assuming that's Khalil. I would just go with Peterson. My bad, I missed it. Did you say Robinson is out? I don't think he's officially out, but it's looking like he's going to be out. You think Shenault, Van Jefferson, or Galladay? I would go with Galladay today. Sanders or Tony? Sanders for me. Gaskin, Emmons, or McNichols? I would go with Gaskin. Conklin or Cook? Cook. Thoughts on Bateman this week? I think he's a decent play. I don't know if it looks like Sammy Watkins might play though. That's gonna lower his value there a little bit. Goddard or Schultz? I would go with Schultz. Ryan Tannehill, Danny Dimes, or Jordan Love? I would go with Danny Dimes. Schultz or Pitts? Pitts. Pitts or Gesicki? Gesicki. Elijah Mitchell or Damian Harris? Elijah Mitchell. Kittle or Higbee? Kittle. Damian Harris or Zach Moss? Damian Harris. Devontae Smith or Julio? I would go with Julio. Kittle or Evan Ingram? Kittle. Josh Jacobs or James Conner? I don't like I would go Josh Jacobs today. I don't like James Conner today. How you doing this morning, Tyler? I'm good. How you doing? With Kyler and D-Hop out, I'm streaming Daniel Jones and Christian Kirk. Is that okay? Yeah, I don't really like Christian Kirk at all either. I really, there's a couple guys that don't, I don't really like the Arizona passing offense. I don't really like James Conner that much. I think a lot of these guys get a big downgrade. Thoughts on Kittle with a snap count? This is what teams always say. Teams always say, oh, he's on a snap count. And then they don't really live by it. So he may be on a snap count, but still, I would still be playing him over a lot of other tight ends. Tua. Is Kyler going to play? Does not look likely that he's going to play. They expect him and DeAndre Hopkins to both be out today. Dan Arnold or Pat Freiermuth? Dan Arnold. McNichols or Damian Harris? McNichols. I'm sorry, Damian Harris. What am I thinking? Adrian Peterson or Melvin Gordon? Melvin Gordon. Tua or Love? Tua. Tony or McNichols? I would go Tony. Jerry Jeudy or CD? CD. Is Cook and Allen for Lamar and Justin or Jacoby Myers fair trade? Cook. Who's Cook? Dalvin Cook? Kyler or Tua? I don't think they said that they don't expect Kyler to play today. So I would plan otherwise. So I would go with Tua. Thoughts on Jerry Jeudy? I like Jerry Jeudy today. Pick 2, we got Mike Williams, DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. I would go with honestly, I would fire up both the Los Angeles Chargers players. Beasley in full point PPR, I think he's a really good play. Is Tua playing? Yeah, I believe he's expected to play. Waddle or Sutton? Waddle. Thoughts on Rondo Moore to play today if D-Hop is out? Kyler's not playing today, so I really don't like them that much. Jared Cook's probs. Cordell or McCaffrey? McCaffrey. Emmons or Van Jefferson? Emmons. Pick 2, Patterson, Darrell Williams, or Chuba Hubbard? Darrell Williams. Josh Jacobs or Brandon Cooks? Brandon Cooks. Thoughts on Devontae Adams this week? I like Devontae Adams. I still think he's like a top 10 wide receiver. Tajay Sharp, Christian Kirk, Mooney, Robbie Anderson, Russell Gage, pick 1. Ugh, oof. I guess I would go Christian Kirk there, Sickland. You see anything good from Pitts today? From Kyle Pitts? What do you mean? Like injury report? Good morning, Tyler. Did I hear Kyler might not play? Then I should pick up Carr or Tua. Would have to drop Landry, Jarrell Williams, or Freiermuth. I would drop Freiermuth, and I would pick up, me personally, I would pick up Tua. Is what I would do. Yo, Steven Drakes with the $5 donation. Shout out to Steven Drakes. Appreciate the $5 donation. And 100%, you get your question answered. All right. Would you play CMC and Hubbard just in case? Also, would you flex Ayuk or Hyde? I'd rather play just one of those guys. I'd rather play CMC if he's 100% going to play, which it looks like he's going to be playing today. So I'd rather go CMC, and then for the flex, I'd go Carlos Hyde. Just my thoughts. And appreciate the $5 donation. Will Pitts play today? Had a good game. You think that's what I meant? Yeah, I think he'll be okay today. It's a tough matchup, but I'd still fire him up. Jared Jeudy or Russell Gage? Jared Jeudy. Julio or Khalil Herbert and flex. I would go Julio there. Freiermuth or Conklin. I would go with Freiermuth. We got another $1 donation, $2 donation from Tony. Tony, did you have a question? Let me look up real quick. Tony, yes, I see it. Okay, so start 2, we got Kadarius Toney, Brian Edwards, Jerry Jeudy, Julio Jones, Brandon Ayuk. So I would go with Jerry Jeudy and Kadarius Toney is what I would do, Tony. Appreciate the $2 donation. Shout out in chat. We got 80 people in here. 80 people in here. Over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over. Get your questions answered. 5 bold predictions. Real quick, I'll give you a couple of them. I like the Giants to win today. I like the Texans to win today. Another upset. What was my other upset? I'd have to look at it real quick. What was my other one that I liked? I had another upset. I like the what was my other one? Dang it. I don't think that what's his face? I don't think Sam Darnold's playing today, so I don't like that one as much. I was gonna say Carolina over the Patriots, but I don't like that one as much. But I will say those two, and then I also like Elijah Mitchell to just continue on. You know what I mean? I think he's going to be a beast. You like the Bears. I do think the Bears cover. I like the Bears to cover, okay? So Bears to cover. I like money line on both the Giants. Look at that. It already went down to 3. It was at 3.5. I like the money line on the Giants. I like the money line on I'll take the money line on Houston. And another game that I think covers, I'm going to take I don't feel great about it. I can't do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Carolina, okay? With an upset win today. There you go. I'm going to take Carolina upset win. Mike Williams or Brandon Cooks? I would go with Brandon Cooks. Or, I'm sorry, I would go with Mike Williams. Carr Cousins. Give me Cousins. Darnold is playing. Okay, Darnold is playing. Give me Carolina to upset the Panthers. Let's get it. Let's get it. Bold prediction. Peterson, 2 touchdowns and 60 yards. Ooh, that is bold. That is bold. Brandon Ayuk, Brian Edwards, Sutton, Marvin Jones, Mooney. Pick 2. I would go with Marvin Jones and Sutton there. Tua, Tannehill, or Tyrod. I would go with Tua. Zach Moss or Julio or Brandon Edwards. Zach Moss. Good morning, Tyler. Yo, what's up, Landy? We got Devontae Adams, CD, AJ Brown, pick 2. I would go with Devontae Adams and AJ Brown. We got Gerald Ryan with the $2 donation. We got pick 3. I appreciate you, Gerald. Thank you for the $2 donation. Pick 3, we got Javonte, Julio, Higgins, and Sutton, full point PPR. I would go with Devontae, Higgins, and Sutton in full point PPR. Appreciate it. Do we really have 48 people watching, only 2 likes? Or no, it should be glitching. Yeah, I mean, there was over 80. It's 76 and 29 likes. So do me a big favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. And tonight I'll be releasing my waiver wire pickups for the week. So make sure you check that out. Is AJ Brown going to play today? They said that he's expected to play, yes. Tony or Landry, I would go with Tony. Pick 1, Freeman, Singletary, AP, or Jeff Wilson. Oof. I'd probably go Freeman. And we got Super Saiyan Hazard. Yo, appreciate the $5 donation. 49ers said they aren't sure how long Debo can go today. Should I be concerned Higgins and Beasley are on my bench? Okay. I mean, a little bit concerned, okay? Him, I'm more concerned about because it's this calf injury where this calf injury now is 2 weeks, and they said that at the beginning of the week, it's worse this week than last week. So I'm starting to get a little bit concerned here because we've seen all these players with this calf injury, and they are now missing time. They usually go on IR. So I'm definitely a little bit concerned about Debo this week, a little bit. Now, I'd probably just roll with them, but if you are concerned, I do think that Higgins and Beasley are both really good plays this week as well. I really like both those guys. So if you don't want to take the risk, go ahead and play one of those guys. I'd probably take the risk, but if you don't want to do it, I think both those guys are really good options. Beasley or Jeff Wilson? Beasley. I need you this week, baby. For flex, we got Tony, Bateman, Javonte Williams, or AP. I would go with Tony. Are you high on Burrow this week? I like Burrow this week. AJ Brown or Hunter Renfrow? I would go AJ Brown. We got Tony, Higgins, Cooper, Jones, and non-PPR pick 2. I would go with Higgins, and I would go with Cooper. Tony and Cooper. Beasley or Jeff Wilson? I would go with Beasley. Cordell Patterson or Boston Scott? I would go with Cordell Patterson. Pick 2, Ayuk, Pollard, Boyd, Bateman. I would go with Ayuk and Bateman. There. Ayuk and Bateman. Galladay, Gage, or Edwards? I would go with Galladay. Las Vegas versus the Giants. Shutdown. I like the Giants in that game. Give me the Giants. AJ Brown or Jamar Chase? I would go with I'd rather go with Jamar Chase there. I love AJ Brown, but with the injury, not really practicing, I would play Jamar Chase. Is Elijah Mitchell good to go? From reports, he's good to go. Now, he may not play as much as usual, but from reports, he's expected to play. Boston Scott or Carlos Hyde? I would go Carlos Hyde. Herbert or McNichols? I would go with McNichols. With David Montgomery possibly coming back, I don't feel great about that. Kittle or Gesicki, Burrow or Herbert? I would go with, I got to double check this. I got to double check this ranking real quick because these two guys are probably neck and neck on my rankings. So let me double check. Let me pull up my quarterback rankings right quick. I have Herbert. Who was it? Herbert's 2 spots ahead of Joe Burrow. So Herbert. Will CD play? I think so. Yes. I need help. Elijah Mitchell is questionable, and we know 45 minutes. My backup is Russell Gage, who is now wide receiver 1. I would just fire up Elijah Mitchell. I believe he's going to play. Elijah Mitchell, Boston Scott. Only asking because of Elijah Mitchell. I would still go with Elijah Mitchell there. Higbee or Arnold? I would go with Higbee. It's a clan. Hunter Henry or Jared Cook? Hunter Henry. Sutton or Tony? Sutton. Good morning, everyone. Smash that like button. Yeah, do me a big favor if you're over on YouTube. Smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. You have a better chance of getting your questions answered. Come on over to YouTube. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. Joe Mixon or Darrell Henderson? Darrell Henderson. Cooks or Beasley? Cooks. Renfrow or Christian Kirk? I would go with Renfrow. Burrow. I missed that one. Burrow or Herbert? Herbert. And if you haven't already, consider signing up to be a member. Members get their questions answered 100% of the time. All you got to do is click them. If you're over on YouTube right now, I'm going to put the link in chat. You can type in exclamation point membership. It will pop up a link. You click on the link. It's as low as $2.99. But number one thing that you get, your questions answered 100% of the time, guaranteed. Get your questions answered. And there's also different tiers, different things you unlock. But number one thing is you get your questions answered. All right, so Angel, we got Najee Harris, Herbert, Mitchell, AP. I would go with Najee Harris and Mitchell there in non-PPR. We got two $5 donations. All right, so Emil Phillip, I appreciate the $2 with the $5 donations. Really appreciate it. Q on full point PPR. We got Flex. We got Herbert, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams, or Zach Moss. I got Patterson. I would go with Jerry Jeudy there. I like Jerry Jeudy this week. I would fire up Jerry Jeudy. Also from Alex, we got TB12 is on bye. Is Trevor Siemian worth a start in Superflex? I could pick up Big Ben on waivers. Yeah, I'd fire up Siemian over Big Ben. I would go Trevor Siemian over Big Ben, Alex, in Superflex leagues. And appreciate the two $5 donations. Thank you. All right. So let's see here. Love, Jones, or Tyrod. I would go Jones. Booker, McNichols, Booker, Mike Davis, or Adrian Peterson. Morning, brother. Yo, what's up, Jonathan? Marvin Jones, a good play today. Figured he'd get a lot of garbage points today. Yeah. No, I think the same exact thing. It's a tough matchup against Buffalo, but this team should really be playing. They're 14.5-point underdogs, so they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So I think that he's a decent play just based on what you said. Garbage time volume. Kittle or Freiermuth, I'd rather go with Kittle there. Mac Jones or Trevor Siemian, I'd rather go with Trevor Siemian. Kittle or Gesicki, Thielen or Hollywood. I like Hollywood there. Hunter Henry or Dan Arnold, I would go with Hunter Henry. Pick 2, we got Claypool, Elijah Mitchell, D-Hop, and Jerry Jeudy. I would go with Jerry Jeudy and Elijah Mitchell there. Will Herbert do good against the Steelers? I wouldn't be banking on Herbert this week. It looks like David Montgomery is going to be coming back, so I don't feel good about playing Herbert this week. Jeff Wilson or Evan Ingram? I would go with Evan Ingram. Is Beasley for sure playing this week? Last I saw, yes. We'll know at 11:30 for sure. If anything, if he's ruled out. The change of slogan, tanking for Tua to tanking with Tua. That's funny. What did you eat? I ate, what did I eat? Oh, I just ate like a pumpkin roll. Like a piece of a pumpkin roll. That's all I ate. That's all I've eaten. Got up, drinking some water, some sparkling water. Love it. Monty or McNichols? I would go with listen, I would go with McNichols today. Herbert or Gainwell? Ugh. I would go with Gainwell. McCaffrey, Jacobs. I would love to go Herbert. Believe me, I would love to go Herbert. If you want to take the risk on Herbert, go for it. But with David Montgomery looking like he's going to be back, I would just go with Gainwell. But I would love to go Herbert. Dak Prescott or Derek Carr? Dak Prescott. Julio Jones or Mike Williams? Mike Williams. Higgins or Zach Moss? I would go with Higgins. Beasley or Bateman? Beasley or Bateman? Okay, it's the same question. I would go with Beasley. McCaffrey, Jacobs, Montgomery, Khalil Herbert. Start 2, I would go with McCaffrey and Jacobs. Herbert or Gainwell? AJ Brown or Renfro? AJ Brown. Pitts or Freiermuth? Pitts. Start 1, we got McNichols, Williams, Kirk. I would go with Williams. Do I play James Robinson if he plays? It depends on your other options. Do you think Tajay Sharp is going to do good today? I think he'll be all right. In like a PPR league, he'll be okay. Would you start D-Hop even if he's healthy for today and Kyler is out? No, I wouldn't. I'm banking on Herbert. Do it. I love Herbert. Listen, I love Herbert as a football player. I wish that, David Montgomery wasn't coming back this week. He was coming after the bye. But I do love Herbert as a football player. Carr or Cousins? I would go with Cousins. Do you have any player props for us? Yeah, there's a couple that I do like that I was looking at earlier. I'll have more here. Let me pull up a couple. Real quick, a couple that I do like. I've already been looking at. I like Tyrod Taylor over. I believe it's 18.5 rushing yards. I like the over on that. Mike Gesicki right now is at 57.5 receiving yards. I like the over on that. As we got into, it was at 55.5, but I still like the over on that. So I like the over on that, and I'll give you more in a moment here while I get this pulled up here. Let me get this pulled up though. So I'll get the rest pulled up here in a moment. Carr, Tua, Mitchell, Renfro, or Tony. I like Mitchell. Should I accept Kittle, Gibson, and Chase for Kamara? That's a lot. I probably want to do that now. Hyde if Robinson is out, or Tony. I like Hyde today if Robinson is out. He should see a decent amount of work, especially in the passing game. Van Jefferson or Michael Gallup. Is Michael Gallup officially playing today? If he is, I would go him. Booker, CMC. I would go with Booker or CMC. CMC. Tony or Tajay Sharp. Tony. Pick 2 full point PPR. We got Sutton, Kirk, Mooney, or Bateman. I would go with Sutton, and I would go with I would like to go Kirk, but with Kyler not playing, I don't really like Christian Kirk that much. No, I'm gonna just stick with my gut, and I'm gonna go with Christian Kirk there. I'm gonna go with Christian Kirk and Sutton. Who's the same tier as Josh Jacobs rest of the season? I would say like same tier. I feel like he's more of a RB2. So like, let me pull up let me pull up my running back ranking. Give you some of these guys that are same tier. All right, so same tier, I would say guys like Myles Gaskin. I would say guys like Damian Harris, Elijah Mitchell. Like that's kind of the same tier of guys that I'm looking at. All right, so player prop that I like. Nick Chubb, receiving yards. I believe he's going to go over this week, okay? Healthier. I think this team really needs to get Nick Chubb involved in this offense. I don't care if it's receiving. I don't care if all of that. 6.5. I'm going in on it again, okay? 6.5 receiving yards. I also like here, let's go to these games so I can pull it up here for you, okay? So where's this game at? Receiving yards. Is it it's 7.5. Okay. And you get the juice, plus 100. So 7.5, I'm taking the over on that. I'm also taking the over on, what was the other one? Rushing, yes. Joe Burrow, 5.5. Give me the over on 5.5 rushing yards. There you go. There's a couple more. Kittle or Goddard? Kittle. I would go Goddard. Should I drop Peterson for Hyde if Robinson doesn't play? No. Okay, I would just play Peterson because I think that Peterson has much more value than Hyde for the rest of the season. So I'd rather just play Peterson. I don't think he's a horrible play today, but I would just play him. Marquise Brown, Cooper, Gaskin, Debo, only one. I would go with Debo. Nick Chubb or Saquon rest of the season. I would go with Saquon rest of the season. Sutton, Tony, or Devontae Smith. I would go with I got to double check this because I think I moved Tony. I could be wrong though. Let me see. I think I may have moved Tony ahead of Sutton. No, I didn't. Tony's right. Okay, he's a couple spots behind. So I would go with Sutton. You the man. No, you the man. Nick Chubb. No, I already got that one. Is Kittle playable if he's only playing half of the game? I think he's playable. It depends on the other options. I still think he's playable, yeah. Devontae Booker, touchdown today. I could see it. Yeah, definitely. I don't like to really bet on touchdowns, like touchdown scores, first touchdown scores. It's so... Like, touchdowns are so hard to kind of, like, predict. So I don't really like to do touchdown scores, but I definitely could see him scoring a touchdown. Cook or Schultz? Schultz. Mixon or Peterson, half-point PPR? Mixon. Or that's Patterson. I would go Mixon, though. Higgins or Beasley at flex? I would go with Higgins. Boston Scott or Patterson? Patterson. Dan Arnold or Tyler Conklin? Dan Arnold. Kittle or Conklin? There, I would still go Kittle. Cook or Schultz? Schultz, best pick. ATS. Okay, over-unders. Okay, so my favorite picks, like betting today. I don't really like to bet on over-unders, or I don't like to bet on the totals, like the over-unders, yeah. I don't like to bet on that. What I like to do is spread and money lines. So you can say I like Houston to cover, but I like their money line. I like the money line. because you get the better juice there. So I like money line on Houston. I also like I like Carolina. I would just take the money line as well. Carolina on the win. Another team that I like the Giants, so I would just take the money line there. I like the spread for the Los Angeles Chargers, 1.5. Give me the 1.5 for the Chargers. And then I would take, I would honestly take, I guess I would take the spread here because you're going to have Kyler and DeAndre Hopkins looking like they're going to be out. So I would probably just take the spread here, 4.5 or 4 for the San Francisco 49ers. I think that they win today. And then I would also take the spread for Chicago. I think that they cover because Pittsburgh, as a Steelers fan, Pittsburgh sucks against teams that they should beat. So, yeah, it's probably going to be a nail biter. It's going to come down to a field goal at the very end of the game. That's what always happens to Pittsburgh. Always happens on teams that they should beat. Ertz or Kittle. I would still go Kittle there, especially with Kyler being out. If Kyler was playing, I'd probably go Ertz, but with Kyler being out, I would go Kittle. Claypool or Marvin Jones. Tua or Tannehill. Tua. Patterson, Chubb, or Josh Jacobs. If I had to pick one, just Chubb. Van Jefferson or Tony. Renfro or Hubbard. I would go with Renfro. Bateman or Marvin Jones. I would go with Marvin Jones. Pick 3, we got Adam Thielen, Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, and Deebo Samuel. I would go with Adam Thielen. No, I would sit Adam Thielen out of the rest of those guys. I would go Jamar Chase, Stephon Diggs, and Deebo. Landry or Renfro. Montgomery or Hyde. I would just go with Hyde in case Montgomery doesn't play this week. CMC or Woods, I would go CMC. Is that Emmanuel Sanders or Tony? Emmanuel Sanders. Should I just drop Deshaun? Yeah, I would. Deshaun is officially droppable. Yes, he didn't get traded. He's not going to play this season. Melvin Gordon or who is that? Melvin Gordon or Gainwell? I would go with Melvin Gordon. Chase, Ford, Jacobs, and Myers. No, I'd rather have Jamar Chase side. Sanders or Elijah Mitchell? I would go with Elijah Mitchell. Start 2, sit 1. Carlos Hyde, Elijah Mitchell, Ayuk. Start 2, sit 1. I would go with Carlos Hyde and Elijah Mitchell. Should I drop Ridley? I wouldn't. I would try to hold on to him. I'm pretty sure you can put him in your IR spot. Tua or Burrow? I would go with Burrow. And real quick, feels like a great time for a little plug. If you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button. If you want to win your fantasy football matchups this week, have good karma, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you're over on YouTube. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over. YouTube, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. And if you're on YouTube and I'm not answering your questions, believe me, I'm trying. I'm trying to answer everybody's questions here. You can sign up to be a member. I'm going to put the link in below. All you got to do is put exclamation point, put membership. You sign up to be a member. It's as low as $2.99. You sign up to be a member. The number one thing that you get is you get your questions answered 100% of the time. All right, 100% of the time, you'll be able to see their names. They have a green name tag with a little badge, with a little icon next to the name. That's how I know that you're a member. You sign up to be a member. There's different tiers that you get. So sign up to be a member, get your questions answered. Also, super chats are available, as you can see from Marcos. Answer his question, but first I got to answer Angels, who said, should I drop Henry? Henry is officially droppable unless you're in like a dynasty league, then no. But if you're in a redraft league, absolutely, Henry's droppable. Marcos, we got Marcos with the $2 donation. Shout out to Marcos. Thank you. We got Tua or Tyrod and Claypool, Julio, or Jerry Jeudy. So I would go with Tua and Jerry Jeudy there. Appreciate the $2 donation. Thank you. All right, Keenan Allen or Thielen. I would go with Keenan Allen. Tua or Tannehill. Tua. Boston Scott or Mike Davis. Oof. I would go with Boston Scott. Gaskin or Carlos Hyde. J-Rob not playing. I would go with Gaskin still. I still like Gaskin. Brandon Cooks or T. Higgins. Brandon Cooks. Play 2, Kadarius Toney, Jacoby Myers, Julio Jones, Kadarius Toney, and Julio Jones. Ayuk or Bateman, I would rather go Bateman unless we get word that, no, you're not going to know, right? Because that's at 1 o'clock. Is that game at 1 o'clock? Yeah, I would just go with Bateman. Darnell Mooney or Chase Claypool? Chase Claypool. Should I start Love or Tyrod if I'm playing against Devontae Adams? I would go with Tyrod. I still like Tyrod over. I would go with Tyrod there. Trade Bateman for Jacoby. I would keep Bateman. Emmanuel Sanders or Sutton. I like Emmanuel Sanders. D-Hop or Woods if D-Hop plays. I don't think D-Hop is playing. He's not expected to play, so I'll just go Woods. Beasley or Hollywood, full point PPR. I would go with Hollywood. Herbert or Tua. I would go with Herbert. Burrow or Herbert. Herbert. Any new in CMC? News in CMC. I believe he's expected to play. We'll know for sure around 11:30 is when the big news is going to come out. When all the big news is going to come out, it's going to be around 11:30. AJ Dillon or Jeff Wilson? AJ Dillon. Drop Gronk for Bateman. I probably would hold on to Gronk. I guess I think it's fair. Like if you don't need Gronk, then sure, I would get Bateman. Should I drop Kirk and pick up Julio? I would. Should I drop Tony Pollard for Tajay Sharp? No, I wouldn't. Kyler not playing. Yeah, Kyler's not playing. Hopkins is out. Should I start Rondo Moore or Waddle? Waddle. Keenan, Boston Scott, or AP for half-point PPR. Keenan Allen. Emmons, Booker, or Kenny G. Pick 2. I would go with Emmons and Booker. Woods or D-Hop if he plays. I would go with Woods. It doesn't look like D-Hop and Kyler are playing today. Tony or McNichols. I would go with Tony. Thoughts on stashing Jamal Agnew? I mean, it's all right. Like, if you're in, like, a 10-team, 12-team league, like, sure. But, like, I don't know. You like the new time change? Absolutely. I always love the new time change. Get a little bit of extra sleep, you know what I mean? Pick 2. We got Montgomery, Chase Edmonds, and Damian Harris. I would just go with Chase Edmonds and Damian Harris there. McCaffrey or Jacobs? McCaffrey, Burrow, or Dak? Dak. Very early, but who do you think will pick 1.1 through 1.5 next year? Henry. Oh, okay. Like, who do you... I'll... Like, later in the season, I usually do, like, my mock draft. Like, later in the season, once we get to, like, weeks 14 is usually when I do, like, my own mock drafts. And I kind of do my own rankings for next year as well. So I'll have an answer. I'll answer that question after this week. I'll have a better idea. McNichols or Elijah Mitchell? I would go with Elijah Mitchell. Like and subscribe. Yeah, if you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. It helps me grow. So thank you. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Debo or Cooks? I would just go with Cooks. Jerry Jeudy or Tony? Jerry Jeudy. Emmons or Renfro? Gaskin or Bears? I would go with Gaskin. Booker or Deontay? Deontay, AP or Herbert? AP. Booker, Deontay, or yeah, I would go Deontay or Jerry Jeudy or Tony? Jerry Jeudy. CMC or Deontay Johnson? CMC. Do I trade Emmons for Odell? No, I wouldn't. Elijah Mitchell or Jeff Wilson? I would go with Elijah Mitchell. Do I trade away McLaurin for CD? I would do that, yeah. For CD, if I'm getting CD, absolutely. If Lamb doesn't play, Cedric Wilson or Tony, I would still go Tony there. Gallup or Mitchell? Start Tony, Sutton, or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. Who finishes number 1 wide receiver in fantasy? I mean, it's really hard to see Cooper Kupp slowing down. I would say Cooper Kupp. Should I start Christian Kirk even though Kyler is out? I think he gets a little bit of downgrade. It depends on your other options, though. Scott or Drake? Scott. Drop Bateman for Landry? Yeah, I would do that. Christian Kirk or Myers? Like that, I'd probably go with Christian Kirk. I would just fire him up. I mean, there's only 2 healthy wide receivers now for them, really. You have Christian Kirk and Ronald Moore. That's basically it. Deebo Samuel or Mike Williams? I would just go with Mike Williams. Brandon Cooks or Deontay Johnson? Deontay Johnson. Herbert or Pollard? I'm firing up Herbert. Gallup's not playing today, but is available for pickup. Is my full point PPR league. Pick him up to stash him. Who do I drop? Bateman, Collins, or Freiermuth? Kittle's my other tight end. I would just drop Freiermuth. Like, start Kittle from here on out. He doesn't have a bye week, or he's already had his bye week, so I would just drop Freiermuth. Pick him up. Emmons or Hubbard? Emmons. Appreciate it, man. Subscribing, becoming a member today. Yo, appreciate it, Carlos. Thank you. Is Tyrod Taylor a good start? I had Kyler. Yeah, I think Tyrod Taylor is a fine start today. Julio, Gage, Jerry Jeudy, Sutton, James Robinson. Only one? I would go Jerry Jeudy. Brandon Cooks or Deontay Johnson? Deontay Johnson. Moore or Jerry Jeudy? I would go with Moore. Standard. We got Melvin Gordon or Brandon Cooks? Brandon Cooks for me. Mitchell and Kittle on limited snaps. Should I keep them in? Yeah, I mean, I would. It depends on your other options, but I still would play them. I mean, I would definitely be playing Elijah Mitchell. Like a rib injury, I don't think he's going to be on that limited snap counts. Elijah Mitchell or McNichols. Goddard or Galladay, Goddard. Lamar, Dak, Lamar. Is it just me, or can running a 40 determine how healthy a player is? Because Gibson runs a 4.3, but I think if he runs it now with a chin, he's probably... Oh, yeah. I mean, it definitely, like, an injury definitely would hinder how fast you run it, for sure. Should I trade J. Rob and A.J. Brown for Jonathan Taylor and D-Hop? I would probably do that, yeah. Jamar for Keenan and C.H. Kareem. Okay, that's Kareem and C.H. Oof. I mean, I probably would just keep Jamar Chase, to be honest with you. Can I play Rondale Moore in my flex? D-Hop and Kyler out. What should I expect? Yeah, I mean, I would definitely go Darrell Williams over Rondale Moore. Me personally is what I would do. I would go Darrell Williams over Rondale Moore. I mean, I like Rondale Moore, but like the quarterback situation, I believe it's Colt McCoy who's going to be the quarterback now. So I'd rather just have Darrell Williams. Peterson or Javonte? Javonte. 49ers defense against, or the Rams. I would go with 49ers defense. I like them a lot more today. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, click on my profile, go to my link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over, get your questions answered. Good lucks per usual, Beast. No problem. Pick 2, McNichols, Javonte Williams, or Jacoby Myers. I would go with McNichols and Javonte Williams. Should I trade Saquon for Chubb and start him over Darrell Henderson, Kamara, or Dalvin Cook? I'd rather have Saquon, and I wouldn't start him over any of those guys, no. Or Chubb. I wouldn't start Chubb over any of those guys. At my flex, Booker, Sanders, or Edmonds? Booker for me. Can I please borrow one of your RBs this week? Never, MP. Never. Waddle, McNichols, Khalil Herbert. I would go with Waddle there. I thought Henry was only out 6 to 10 weeks. Is he not playing for the rest of the season? Opponent who's 6-2 has Henry. Hopefully I can pass him now. Yeah, I don't think he's going to play for the rest of the season. I really don't think it. I don't think he's going to play. Sutton or Marquise Brown? I would go with Marquise Brown. Was it smart to pick up Jeff Wilson? Will he end up sharing carries with Elijah? I think it's smart to pick him up. I just think this team really likes Elijah Mitchell. So I think he's going to be the starter as long as he doesn't get hurt and can stay healthy for the season. I think he's going to be the starter. I think Jeff Wilson is going to overtake Hasty for that like receiving role on this offense. But Elijah Mitchell is going to be the starter. At flex, we got Booker, Sanders, or Edmonds. I would go with Booker there. Should I try to trade Herbert and Chase for Lamar and Jacobs? I think that's decent. I think that's a decent trade. A.J. Brown or Dallas Goedert in full point PPR. I would just go with A.J. Brown. I go with A.J. Brown. CMC or Darrell Williams, CMC. Pick 2, we got A-Rob, Brian Edwards, Devontae Smith, or Kenny G. I need your help. Oof. I would go with Kenny G and I need to check where I have Brian Edwards ranked now. Brian Edwards is one spot behind Jacoby Myers, but I probably would go. I'm going to switch that. I would go Brian Edwards. Do I start Hubbard today? I wouldn't feel good about starting Hubbard today. Is Elijah Mitchell questionable after every game? Basically. Choose a flex. AP. Like, I just find it hard to believe that Elijah Mitchell is going to be, like, on a snap count. I mean, he practiced. He didn't practice on Wednesday, but, like, that's always an off day for a lot of players. And then he was limited for the rest of the week. I just think he's going to be okay to play. Do you do defense players too? I don't, unfortunately. I'm sorry. CMC or Williams, I would go CMC. Schultz or Kittle, I would go with Schultz there. Yeah, I would definitely go with Schultz. Marvin Jones or Brian Edwards? Marvin Jones. Pick 1 for flex. We got Patterson, Cooper, Allen, Landry, or Darrell Williams. 1 for flex, I would go with Allen there, Megan. Allen out of all of them. Why is everyone doubting A.J. Brown? Did something against... A.J. Brown's amazing. The only thing that I'm a little bit concerned about is just the injury. But, like, the fact that Derrick Henry's gone, no, absolutely. I'm not worried about that at all. Flex Booker or Boston Scott? Booker. Marquise Brown or CeeDee Lamb? Chat. He wants to know in the chat. But I would go with CeeDee Lamb. Elijah Mitchell or Chase Edmonds? Elijah Mitchell. Is it worth starting CMC this week? Yes. What's up? Pick 2. Higgins, Jerry Jeudy, or Tony? I would go with Higgins and Jerry Jeudy. Cole Beasley, DJ Moore, or Kyle Pitts. If I had to pick one, it'd be DJ Moore. Beasley or Landry? I would go with ooh, I gotta double check this. Gotta double check my rankings real quick. Where's Beasley? Who is it? Beasley and Beasley and Landry. Beasley or Landry. Let me see here. I want to say Beasley though. Beasley. Oh yeah, Beasley's one spot ahead of Jarvis Landry. Okay, so take it for what you want. So is Kyler out 100%? I don't think 100%, 100%, but it looks like close to it. Should I trade Khalil Herbert for Booker? If you need someone to start this week, yeah, I would start him. Peterson or Javonte? I would go Javonte. What do you think? Who do you think will start for Titans this week? Devontae Freeman or Jeremy McNichols? I think McNichols will. McNichols or Javonte Williams, standard scoring. I would go with Javonte Williams there. Herbert or Hyde? I would go with Hyde. Saints defense rest of the season. I like him. Should I trade away Cup for CMC? I just lost Derrick Henry and we'll still have Debo and Justin Jefferson. I probably wouldn't, but do you if you want. No, I don't think it's a bad trade at all. Should I no. Peterson, Bateman, Myers. I would go with Bateman there. Brandon Cooks or Mike Williams. I would go with Mike Williams there. Is CeeDee Lamb the wide receiver 1 on the Cowboys? Yes, it looks like it. Kittle or Schultz? Schultz for me. Hyde or Hubbard? Hyde. Cordell Patterson or Debo? Debo. Herbert or Cousins? I would go with Herbert. Would you go Terrell Williams even if Elijah Mitchell plays full point PPR? I think that's fine, yeah. Full point PPR, yeah. I would go Terrell Williams. More involved in the passing game, so yeah. Kittle or Jared Cook? I would go with Kittle or Jared Cook. I would, in that case, I would just go with Kittle. I know limited a little bit, but I would still go with him. Devontae Booker is Zach Moss. I'm assuming that is Devontae Booker. I would go. Aaron, real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over. Also, hit that follow button. I go live on TikTok. I do TikTok only live streams at times. So make sure you hit that follow button, get notified when I go live. And if you're over on TikTok, if you're over on YouTube, if you're over on YouTube, I'm not answering your questions. Believe me, I'm trying to answer everybody's questions. Going as fast as possible. You can sign up to be a member. Members, it's as low as $2.99. You sign up to be a member. Number one thing that you get priority in chat. Anything, every single time you ask a question, I answer your question 100% guaranteed. Also, Super Chats are available. Sign up to be a member. And also, Super Chats, you get your questions answered 100% of the time. Over on Patreon, as low as $1, you get my rankings. So, over on Patreon, links both in the description. Also, you can do either, exclamation point membership will pop up the membership. So, all right, let's get back to it. Lamar or Burrow? Lamar. Drop Gronk. I mean, it depends on if you need to, I guess. But I would try to hold on to him. Sanders or Beasley or Kirk? Which two should I start? Sanders and Beasley for me. Do you like Tua or Love better? Since I would go with Tua. I like Tua better. Mitchell, Gaskin, Hyde, Jeff Wilson. Mitchell and Gaskin for me. Super flex. So I play Sam Darnold if he plays. My other option is to flex a wide receiver or Cole McCoy. I would go with Sam Darnold. It looks, as long as he plays, yes. Edmonds or Scott? Edmonds, Moss or Hyde? I would go with Carlos Hyde as long as James Robinson is out. Jalen Waddle or Kadarius Toney? Jalen Waddle. Watching football, don't hit the same when Gibson is not playing. Moss or Herbert? Moss. Pick 3 between Debo, Tyreek, Jamar, and Thielen in PPR. Debo, Tyreek, and Jamar. Do you like Tua or Love better? I would go with Tua. Pick 2, Mitchell, Gaskin, Hyde, Jefferson, Mitchell, Gaskin. Edmonds or Scott? Edmonds. Connor, Peterson? I would go with Connor. Jordan Love or Kyler Murray? It doesn't look like Kyler Murray's going to play, so Jordan Love. CD or Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase. Jacoby Myers or McNichols. I would go with McNichols. Pick 3. Lamb, Williams, Samuel, Ayuk, Sanders. Lamb, Williams, Sanders. Who I would go, Sammy. Sutton or McNichols. I would go with Sutton. Would you would be dropping Gronk for Bateman, or it could drop Henry for Bateman? I would just drop Henry. I really, really don't think Henry's coming back for the rest of the season. Connor or Peterson. I would go with Connor. Jerry Jeudy, Julio or Claypool. Jerry Jeudy, T. Higgins, or Kadarius Toney, T. Higgins. Dak or Herbert. I would go with Dak. Lineup today is Josh Allen, Eckler, Najee, Justin Jefferson, Mike Williams, Pitts, and T. Higgins. I'm playing against Joe Burrow, Cook, Mike Davis, Tyreek. No, I think that you're gonna win that matchup. CMC, Mixon, or Henderson. Bench 1. I would just bench CMC. Gore, Gainwell. I would go with Gainwell. Pick 2. We got Booker, Darrell Williams, Mitchell, Jacobs. Pick 2. I would go with Booker and Darrell Williams. Would you keep Henry if we playing the whole regular season? I really don't think he comes back for the season. I guess if you want to be like overly cautious, sure, but I really don't think he comes back for the season. Pick 1, Gainwell, Drake, or Mike Davis. Honestly, I would go with Mike Davis there. Do you think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to play today? No. Is DeAndre Hopkins playing? Looks very unlikely that he's playing. I would not count on him playing today. Landry or Sutton? I would go with Sutton. For flex, should I play Portland Sutton or Hunter Renfrow? Honestly, I keep talking myself into this. I'm going Hunter Renfrow today. Thoughts on J-Rob today? I don't think he plays. Has he been officially... We'll know at 11:30 if he's officially going to be playing today. I don't think that he plays today. Thoughts on J-Rob? Oh, no, I already got that one. Jordan Love, Cousins, or Daniel Jones? I would go with Kirk Cousins there. Cole Beasley, DJ Moore, or Kyle Pitts? I would go with DJ Moore there, Bailey. What's your must-have today? Who's your must-have? Like, are you talking about in terms of like betting or? Okay, so somebody that I really like in terms of fantasy football, like your redraft, all that kind of stuff, and then also in DFS, I really like Myles Gaskin today. I like the Dolphins. I would like to stack the Dolphins, so I would like to go Tua, or you could go on the opposite side and go Tyrod and Brandon Cooks, and then go Myles Gaskin, or you could go like Tua, Mike Gesicki, and then on the other side, like I would still even go, Brandon Cooks. Like I like that game a decent amount. I think that game has sneaky potential to be decently high scoring. So I really like Myles Gaskin. I like Mike Gesicki. I like Tua today. I like even Tyrod Taylor, Brandon Cooks. Like those are guys that I really like today in that game. Yeah, I like that game. Should I be trading away Debo for CMC? I probably would. Sutton or Damian Harris? Damian Harris. DraftKings must have. So I guess the same thing. I would say Myles Gaskin is a guy that I really would want to have in a lot of my starting lineups today. I like Myles Gaskin a lot today. I just like this game once again. I think that there's a lot of potential in this game. So that's if you want other players, like some other players that I feel good about today. Let me pull up my list real quick. All right, so some other players like Bryan Edwards or Hunter Renfrow, like those two guys, I do like Bryan Edwards today. In terms of DFS, also Jalen Waddle is in the conversation as well. I think that somebody like AJ Dillon I would probably go with Aaron Jones. I feel like he's going to be more involved in the passing game, but AJ Dillon cheaper. T. Higgins, another guy that I like today, but I would definitely say honestly, I would like to stack this game. Also Jordan Love, of course. I think that Jordan Love he's just so cheap, so he's another viable option as well. In terms of DFS plays. Good morning, Tyler. Damian Harris or Emmanuel Sanders, full point PPR. I would go with in full point PPR, Emmanuel Sanders. Carlos Gonzalez, choose a flex. Appreciate the $2 donation. Choose a flex, AP, Javonte Williams, Mooney, Ayuk. I would go with Javonte Williams there. I would still go Javonte Williams over those options. Appreciate the $2 donation. Shout out to everybody that's hanging out. If you're on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So, and once again, nice little plug here. Sure. Hit that like, subscribe button. Really appreciate it. We're at 75 likes. Let's get up to 80. Come on, we can do it. Only 5 more. So smash that like button. Trade or keep Calvin Ridley. I mean, I would try to trade him if somebody's going to take him. Let's see. Let's go down to the bottom. Mahomes or Herbert? I would go with Mahomes still. I know Mahomes hasn't been great, but I would still fire Mahomes. Trade or keep Calvin Ridley. Once again, I would try to trade him, but I think his value is really low. You're probably just going to have to keep him. Khalil Herbert, AP, Jarrell Williams, pick 2. I would go with Jarrell Williams, and I'm just going to go with Khalil Herbert there. How does it look for full point PPR? Stafford, Chubb, Eckler, Kirk, Sutton, Kittle, Scott, and Flex, Carlson, and Bills defense. Do have Sutton on bench, or Mooney, if you don't like Scott. No, I would fire up what you have, Megan. Good luck to you, Megan. Good luck to you. Take a chance on Kyler starting or start Carr. No, start Carr. It doesn't look like Kyler's going to be playing today. Projection on McNichols. I would say McNichols, like, what is his point projection? I would say scores around like 10 points in PPR leagues. What was the next question? Okay, Jordan Love or Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins. Should I do James Robinson for a Mixon and Ayuk? Yeah, I would do that. Devontae Booker or Khalil Herbert? Booker. Khalil Herbert or Boston Scott? I would say Khalil Herbert if I knew David Montgomery wasn't playing tomorrow, but I would go with Boston Scott because it looks like David Montgomery is going to play. Emmanuel Sanders, Robert Woods, or Tony. Choose 2. I would go with Emmanuel Sanders and Robert Woods there. Start CMC or Mike Williams. I would go with Mike Williams there. Burrow or Hurts this week? Hurts. Should I do James Robinson? Yeah, I already got that one. I would do that. Jared Cook or Dalton Schultz? Dalton Schultz for me, Robert. Especially Blake Jarwin is on IR, so fire up Dalton Schultz. The dude is a top 5 tight end. Last year he was a top 10 tight end. Dalton Schultz, if you want somebody to try to get as a tight end right now, I just don't think that people truly understand how good 2 people are. Mike Gesicki and Dalton Schultz. Mike Gesicki, since Tuez came back from injury, is number 1 in points per game at the tight end position. Number 1. Okay? Mike Gesicki is a stud. Dalton Schultz is an absolute stud as well. Those are 2 guys that I would be trying to get if you need tight end help because people don't understand how good they're going to be for the rest of the season. So go get those guys. Higbee or Schultz? I would go Schultz. Emmanuel Sanders, Robert Woods, and Tony. Choose 1. Oh, only 1. I would go with Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders and only choose 1. Sanders or Hollywood? Hollywood. Mike Davis or Bateman? Bateman. Tyrod, Kirk, or Cousins? Or no, Tannehill. I'll go Kirk Cousins. Full point PPR, we got Javonte Williams or McNichols. In full point PPR, I would go with McNichols. I definitely think he's going to be. Tua's out? No! Are you kidding me? Tua's out? Are you serious? Come on, Tua. What the? My gosh, dude. That is so lame. Bruh. That is... Come on, my guy. Tua is constantly... This dude, he's always playing. Ah, boy. Oh, he has a fracture in his middle finger of his throwing hand. Jacoby Brissett. Ugh. Yuck. Okay, well, hey. Maybe not... Hey, now it's too late to get in that Texans pick. I've been telling people since like Thursday I like the Texans. So if you didn't get the Texans money line, well, they already locked it. So chances are you're not going to be able to get it. But Texans money line. Hopefully you're listening on Thursday to get in on Texans as the upset pick. If not, unfortunately you probably missed out your chance. Missed out on your opportunity. All right, John Noons, $2 donation. Marvin Jones, Tajay Sharp, or Hardman. I would go with Marvin Jones and appreciate the $2 donation, John. Shout out to John and chat with the $2 donation. With Kyler likely out, should I play Kirk over Mecole Hardman and Pollard? I would still fire up Christian Kirk because you're going to have DeAndre Hopkins. You already have AJ Green out. So really it's limiting the wide receivers for this team. So I would just still fire up Christian Kirk, personally. How does my half-point team look like? Well, Megan, we got to change it already. Tua's officially out. So we got Chubb, Taylor with his 33 points. Pittman, yes, stud. Deontay, I mean, that team looks really good. But make sure you take out Tua. Play Tyrod or risk it with... No, I don't think that Kyler's going to play, so play Tyrod. Pick 1. Gaskin, Sutton, Tony, Montgomery. Okay, definitely. I'm definitely firing up Gaskin today because when we saw Jacoby Brissett here. Jacoby Brissett likes to target the running back position, and Mike Gesicki. Those guys are really like Mike Gesicki, Tua, or not, Mike Gesicki, Myles Gaskin, and Jalen Waddle should really all be elevated with Jacoby Brissett, who's really going to just focus on these guys and pass them the ball a ton. It's the ball's going to go to these guys a lot. Should I play Adrian Peterson or both Cleveland starting running backs? No, I would play Adrian Peterson over. I'm assuming that's Dearness Johnson. I would go with Adrian Peterson there. I'm not sure if you rank defense, but Raiders or Arizona. Yeah. I do have defenses, so let me get that pulled up real quick. Where's my defense? I would go with the Raiders defense. The Raiders defense. So it was the Raiders or Arizona, right? Yeah, Raiders defense. Robert. Mooney or Gage? I would go with Mooney there. Josh Jacobs or Mixon as RB2. Mixon, Woods or Kirk. Woods. Start Hurts or Tannehill. Hurts. Emmanuel Sanders or Gaskin, PPR. Gaskin. Waddle or Amari Cooper. I would still go with Amari Cooper there. Uzi. Sanders or Mitchell. Mitchell. Allen or Sutton. Allen. Stafford, Dak, or Hurts. I would go with Stafford. Love Stafford this week. Pick up Carr or Brissett. I would still play Carr. Kittle or Uzama. I would go with Kittle. Jalen Hurts or Tannehill. Jalen Hurts. Choose a flex. We got Jacoby Myers, Renfro, Darrell Williams. I would go with Darrell Williams there. Darrell Williams over the rest. Waddle or CMC. Herbert, Waddle, or CMC. I would still go with CMC. Tua is out. Yes, Tua is officially out. And once these inactives come in, definitely let me know in chat because I don't have my notifications turned on with my phone because I'm live over on TikTok. So let me know in chat as inactives come in. Gaskin or Mitchell, I would go with Gaskin. Boston Scott or Chuba Hubbard, since CMC has limited snap count, I would still go with CMC. Or, well, no. Okay, I don't think CMC is the question. I would go with Boston Scott. Javonte Williams or Robinson at flex. I don't think Robinson's going to play today, so Javonte Williams. Darrell Williams, Khalil Herbert, Jalen Waddle, Darrell Williams. Jalen Reagor or Mike Williams. Choose two. Yes, two is out officially. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, DJ Moore. I would go with Mike Williams, and honestly, I would still go with no, because Sam Darnold is expected to play, so I would go with DJ Moore. Waddle, Judy, or Van Jefferson. Can someone confirm that? Is Sam Darnold expected to play today? So drop Tua to pick up Carr over Brissett. Yes, I would do that. Megan, I would do that. Ertz or Kittle? I would go with Kittle there. Dallas Goedert or Schultz? Thank you. I would go with Schultz there. Freiermuth or Arnold? No, actually, I would go with Dallas Goedert. Dallas Goedert is one of the guys that would play. One of the small list of guys that would play over Schultz. Schultz or Freiermuth or Arnold? Arnold. Yes, Sam Darnold is playing. Okay, so I like DJ more today. Love or Bridgewater? I would fire up Love. Pick two, Gaskin, Mitchell, or Woods. Gaskin and Mitchell. Isn't Mike Williams going to get shadowed by Slay? I mean, I'm not too concerned about it. Do we think that Darius Slay is that good anymore? I don't think he's that good anymore. I don't think he's anything like his name is Darius Slay, but like, come on now. Darius Slay hasn't been that good since a while. Like, he's still good, don't get me wrong, but Mike Williams... Okay, a lot of people think that Mike Williams isn't good anymore. Mike Williams has had a tough matchup, and he's also been banged up. I think he's going to be good for today. I think Bill Belichick will double DJ Moore, remove first option. He could, but I also think DJ Moore is just so good. It doesn't matter. Tyrod Taylor, Kirk Cousins, but I also think that he would try to take away, Christian McCaffrey. And I'm not totally buying in that Christian McCaffrey is going to be on a snap count. That's what they said last time, and then he played literally every single snap and had like 30 touches. Yeah, Slay is good. Eagles are number one against the pass. Okay, we'll see. We'll see today. We'll see today how good he is. All right, real quick. Quick plug. If you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Really appreciate it. Okay, so they're good against the pass. Eagles are good against pass. Gave up 41 to the Cowboys. Lost to the Chiefs, gave up 42. They beat up on the Panthers and Sam Darnold. They beat up on the Falcons and Matt Ryan. Gave up 28 to the Bucks on Thursday Night Football. Gave up 33 to the Raiders with Derek Carr. They're good against the pass. It sure seems against good teams they're losing quite a bit. They did beat up on the Lions. The 8 Lions now. So good against the pass is definitely relative once you actually look at the teams that they played and look at the teams that they beat up on. Against teams that they beat up or lost against, it definitely looks like they're struggling against the pass. Just my take. All right. Love or Cousins? I would go with Cousins. Yo, what up, little top? Kirk or Tyrod Taylor? Kirk. Need one for the flex. Darrell Williams, Khalil Herbert, Jalen Waddle. Darrell Williams there. Need an RB2. Who would you carry into next week? AJ Dillon, Jeff Wilson, or Kenyon Drake. Please and thank you. Derrick Henry, size hole in my roster. I would honestly carry AJ Dillon. Trades went down last week. 12-team PPR. Who won? James Conner, Gibson, and Julio for Chubb. I'd rather have the Chubb side, to be honest with you. Tyrod or Jordan Love? Tyrod. Daniel Jones or Jacoby Brissett? Daniel Jones. Mike Davis or Melvin Gordon? Melvin Gordon. Scott or Gaskin and Flex? Gaskin. For tight end, Arnold, I don't know how to say his last name. The dude from the backup tight end for Denver, or Freiermuth. Honestly, I would go with the backup tight end from Denver. I don't know how to say his last name. I don't. I've looked at it a couple times already, and I've tried to say it, and I get it wrong every single time, and I totally forget, so I'm not even going to try to butcher his name. Who do I start at flex? Damian Harris, Higgins, or Renfro? I would go with Damian Harris there. Is James Robinson? I don't think James Robinson is going to play today. No, Voss. Pick 3. We got Mike Williams, Brandon Cooks, Debo, or AJ Brown. I would go with Debo, Mike Williams, and AJ Brown. DK and Mark Andrews. Actually, okay, I would probably. Oh boy, this whole Debo situation is scaring me. I really want to play Brandon Cooks there in that lineup, though. Is Debo officially active? Do we have? Well, we probably won't know. Is that game at 4 o'clock? That game's probably at 4 o'clock, right? Yeah, it's at 4 o'clock, so we're not gonna know. I would just play Brandon Cooks over Debo, to be honest with you. Patterson or Foreman? Peterson. I would go Peterson. Jeff Wilson or Chuba Hubbard? I would go with Chuba Hubbard. Thanks, Tyler, for your info. Helps provided updates. Thank you. Go Birds. Go Megan. Thank you for hanging out. Little top, we got start 2 tight ends today. Team is Dak, Jones, Henderson, Cooper, Diggs, Pitts, Gesicki. Jeez, my start 2 tight ends? Should I start Oh, okay. I mean, I think both those tight ends are really good options, yes. Do you think Montgomery will play? It seems likely that he's going to play. Or bench one of the tight ends for Jacoby. No, I'd play both those tight ends over Jacoby Myers today. Jarvis or Sutton? I would go with Sutton. Emmanuel Sanders or Elijah Mitchell? And full point PPR, Emmanuel Sanders. Full point PPR, Carlos Hyde or Galladay. If CD doesn't go, check out in warmups. If I had to pick one, I would go with Galladay today. The man, the myth, the legend, Tyler. Yo, what up, Oscar? Jarvis or Julio? I would go Jarvis. Jordan Love or Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins. Love or Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones. Top DK sleepers? Yes. Let me, so I guess not so much sleepers, but guys that I like today, a few guys that I like. I like Myles Gaskin today. I really like him across all FanDuel as well. I like him. I also think if you want to go sneaky and pay down at the quarterback position, Jordan Love, a guy, and then also stack Devontae Adams. Like, I don't think it's going to be that bad for Devontae Adams. I still think he's going to have a solid week. Other guys that are like cheaper that you could probably like put in your lineup, like Brian Edwards, I think is decent. I like him. I also like Hunter Renfrow. I think he's solid. Tight end like Dalton Schultz this week is solid. If you want to really be cheap, like Tyler Conklin. Dan Arnold's another option, but like Brian Edwards, Hunter Renfrow, those are some guys like Myles Gaskin. I like him as well. And then if you want to go like a cheaper stack, like I said, you could go like Jordan Love and Devontae Adams, or like Daniel Jones and Daniel Jones or Kenny Galladay, stuff like that. Solid. And I like Marquise Brown today. I like Marquise Brown. All right. Jarrett Whitley with the $2 donation. Yo, appreciate it, Jared. We got a $2 donation. So we got Brian Edwards or Tony, Arnold or Pat Fryermuth. All right. So I'm going to go with Tony, and I'm going to go with Arnold. All right. Those are the two guys I'm going to go with. Appreciate the $2 donation. Shout out to Jarrett in chat. Thank you. Mac or Tua? It does not. Tua is officially out. Tua has been ruled out. Everybody, Tua is officially out today. You don't want to be playing Tua. Officially out. So, Mac, I guess. And the other one was the other one with Tua. I saw another one with Tua. Mayfield or Tua or Love? I would go with Love there. Cards D or Eagles D? I would go with Cards D. It's really iffy. I really don't like either one of them. Start Renfro. I would also have Raiders starting him with him because of Waller and Jacobs. Hold on 1 second. I gotta go back and look at something. Okay. No. We're good. We're good. All right. Daniel Jones or Carr? I would go with Carr. Wait, what? What? Tua is officially out. Darrell Williams or Chase Edmonds? Darrell Williams. Marvin Jones, Mooney, or Allen Robinson? Marvin Jones. Van Jefferson or Marvin Jones? I would go with Marvin Jones. Derek Carr or Danny Dimes? Derek Carr. Gaskin, Darrell Williams, Damian Harris. I would go with Gaskin, Darrell Williams, Marvin Jones, Mooney, or Allen Robinson. Pick two. Marvin Jones. Tony or Claypool? I would go with Tony. Jerry Jeudy or Jacoby Myers? Jerry Jeudy, baby. Jeudy, baby. And real quick, Jacobs or Booker? Who I start since Tua's out? Garoppolo, Love, or Mac Jones? I would go with Love. Is Elijah Mitchell still a start if he plays and Jeff Wilson is back? Yeah, I mean, it just depends on the other options, but I still would fire up Elijah Mitchell. CMC or Elijah? I would go with CMC there. Is Galladay and Tony playing this week? Yes, I believe that they're both playing this week. Help, Tua out, Love. Do I not play Waddle either? No, I think, okay, so here's my take on the situation. I think that Waddle's still okay because you already have Devontae Parker out. Really, the three guys that I would be starting this week from the Dolphins, Myles Gaskin, Mike Gesicki, and Tua. I think those guys are still fine, okay, to start. If Tua's out and you have to pick up Jordan Love, pick up Jordan Love. Like, he's fine. I think that Jordan Love is fine. Jacoby Brissett, now that Tua's out, Jordan Love or Teddy Bridgewater. Jordan Love for me. And yeah, Daisy, I would pick up Love and start Love. Emmanuel Sanders or Christian Kirk. I would go with Emmanuel Sanders. Melvin Gordon or Jerry Jeudy at flex. I would go with Jerry Jeudy. Thanks for your content. No problem. You're welcome. Julio or Jamal Agnew. I would go with Julio. Elijah Mitchell or Chubb? Chubb. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. James Conner, Zach Moss, or Boston Scott, pick two. James Conner and Zach Moss. Gesicki or Travis Kelce? I'm still going. I'm going Travis Kelce, but I'm telling you, Mike Gesicki is still tight end number 2 for me this week. So Renfro, good or bad? Start. He usually has a solid floor and no rugs now. I think Renfro is a solid start. Yes, I like Renfro. He was seeing a 21% target share before Ruggs was gone. Now with Ruggs gone, I mean, that should only open up. I think he's a really solid start for the rest of the season. Could easily be a very good wide receiver 2 for the rest of the season. Is Tyrod a good play if Tua is out? Yes, I do like it. Has that game changed? If you've been listening to me since, the game is still at +4. Guys, go and get the Houston Texans money line or the spread. I still think that the Texans beat the Dolphins today. I even thought they were going to beat them before Tua got ruled out, and now they're still +4. They're still giving them points. I still think that they win. Jerry Jeudy or Waddle? Jerry Jeudy. Would you start Waddle or Tony? I would go with Waddle there. Is that Goddard or Waller? I would go with Waller. Thoughts on Carlos Hyde this week? I like him, especially if, James Robinson. Is James Robinson officially out? Can someone let me know? Has he officially been ruled out yet? I saw that they do not expect him to play, but they're going to still test it. I guess we won't know until 11:30 unless the news has already came in. But I know that they were not expecting him to play today. Chargers, Saints, or Patriots defense. If I play the Saints, then I play DJ Moore. But if I play the Chargers or Pats, I would go with the Patriots. But I would still play DJ Moore. Like, that's still fine. I would still play the Patriots, even though, you know, you have DJ Moore. Like, I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think the Patriots will still be good. Goddard or Waller, have a great Sunday. The Raiders. I would go with Waller there. Elijah Mitchell or Zach Moss? Zach Moss. Van Jefferson. Who's Van Jefferson? What's the question? Van Jefferson or who? Claypool, Marvin Jones, or Kirk? Who's two? Marvin Jones and Kirk. Edmonds or Jerry Jeudy? Jerry Jeudy. Best DK defense? A defense that I would like to play would be the I would like to play the Kansas City Chiefs. Or if you want to pay up, like Buffalo's defense, I guess. Like the Chiefs defense. I also think Carolina's defense is all right too. I like that game. That game has I think it's the second lowest scoring game of the weekend. This Carolina 41.5. Pretty sure Pittsburgh's the lowest at like 38.5. Yeah. But I think Carolina's defense is honestly pretty solid as well. They're a really good defense just in general. Final lineup this week. Hurts, CMC, Patterson, Mike Williams, Crowder. Fit was the risk. It was the risk. Sanders, Lamb, Bass, Steelers defense. Chuba, Booker, D-Hop, Samuels, and Ayuk. I think it looks good. I would keep it as is, Sammy. Yeah. Fire it up. Good luck to you this week. CMC or Elijah Mitchell? CMC. Edmonds or Judy? Judy. CD or Jerry Jeudy? CD. CD. Thanks for the advice. No problem. You're welcome. Start Gaskin with 2 out, Jamie Harris. I would still go to Gaskin. DJ Moore or Elijah Mitchell at flex. I would go with DJ Moore. Think Landry will see more targets with OBJ gone? Yeah, I definitely think so. Last year he was on a points per game basis. Take out the 2 games where it was a freaking monsoon in Cleveland, the couple of games, and he was top 20 in terms of points per game without what's his face, Odell. So yes, I do think so. Standard, Moss or McNichols and Rondell Moore or Jerry Jeudy? I would go with Moss and Jerry Jeudy. Thoughts on Boston Scott? I think he's all right. I think he's fine. He's a fine play this weekend. 12-team league. We have half point roster is Mahomes, Hendo, Mitchell, Darrell Williams, Tyreek, Gesicki, Zerloin, Saints. Let's go, Millie. Good luck this week. Elijah Mitchell, Tony, Christian Kirk, pick one. I would go with Elijah Mitchell. Who do I drop for a tight end? Darrell Williams, Carr, or Bateman? If you don't need Carr, I guess Carr. If you don't need him. If you have a better quarterback, then yeah. Brandon Cooks or Robert Woods? Brandon Cooks. You think Kyler plays today? No, I do not. Cortland Sutton, Schultz, or Javonte at flex? I would honestly go with Schultz. Is A.J. Brown going to play? They said that he's expected to play, yes. Brandon Cooks, Keenan Allen, or Jarvis Landry, pick 2. I would go with Brandon Cooks and Keenan Allen. Galladay or Rondell Moore? Galladay. Jones, Eckler, or Cook? Only one of them? Eckler. Or no, I have Dalvin Cook higher. I guess Dalvin Cook. But man, oh man, that's tough. If you only have to pick one. Thoughts on Van Jefferson? I think, Van Jefferson, he'll be fine. I don't think he's like a must start, but I think that he's a decent, I would say like a top 40 wide receiver, top 35 possibly. Kirk or Emmanuel Sanders? Emmanuel Sanders. Galladay or Rondell Moore? Galladay. Cole Beasley or Devontae Smith? Cole Beasley, Moore or Samuel? Moore. DJ Moore, right? Daniel, smart play of Kyler hurt. Yeah. I think he's fine. Also, if you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button if you're over on YouTube. Hit subscribe if you're not already subscribed. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So, profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over and get your questions answered. Also, make sure you hit that follow button if you're on TikTok, because I do TikTok only live streams as well. So make sure you hit that follow button. But come on over and get your questions answered. Also, if you're on YouTube, and number one, you appreciate what I do, but you also want to get your questions answered, best thing that you could do is sign up to be a member. Sign up to be a member. You get your questions answered 100% of the time, guaranteed. All you got to do is put it in chat right now. ! Membership. It's as low as $2.99. You sign up, you get your questions answered. There's different tiers, different things you can unlock. So sign up to be a member. Super chats are also available to get your question answered 100% of the time. And also, you can check out my Patreon down in the description. You also see stream elements, say something as well. Or you could do, I think it's Patreon. Go over there. You get my rankings as low as $1. It's pay what you can. So all that available to you. All right. So we got pick 2, my wide receiver 2 and flex. T. Higgins. Pick 2 for my wide receiver 2 and flex. Okay. So T. Higgins, Emmanuel Sanders, Darrell Williams. I would go with T. Higgins and Darrell Williams. Thanks for all the help. No problem. You're welcome, Ryan. Appreciate you hanging out, being a member. Cole Beasley or Devontae Smith. Toxic. I would go with Devontae Smith. Signing up now. Yo, let's get it. Membership. Emmanuel Sanders for flex or Ertz. I would go with Emmanuel Sanders. AP or Montgomery. If you don't have a backup plan in case Montgomery doesn't play, I would go with AP just to be safe. But I would like to play Montgomery more. So if you don't have a backup plan, though, I would go with AP. Kittle or Kelsey when healthy. Kelsey. I have Devontae Adams, and the opposing team has Jamar. Should I start Jordan Love or Burrow? I would go with Burrow. I would still go with Burrow. Should I trade CMC for Devontae Adams? I have CMC, by the way. Yeah, I mean, I guess I probably would just keep CMC, but I mean, if that's something you want to do, go for it. Love, Daniel Jones, Tyrod, or Bridgewater. Mark, I would go with Daniel Jones. Schultz or Kittle? Schultz. Renfro, Jerry Jeudy, or Christian Kirk? Jerry Jeudy. Pick 2, Cordell Patterson, Claypool, or Devontae Booker. Sorry if I missed your answer. I would go with Cordell Patterson, Devontae Booker there, Michael. Deontay Johnson, Waddle, or Tony? I would go with Deontay. Van Jefferson or Emmanuel Sanders? Emmanuel Sanders. Darrell Williams or Waddle? Darrell Williams. Schultz or Kittle? Schultz. Khalil Herbert or Tony? But Montgomery seems to be back. Yeah, I would prefer Tony, but with Montgomery possibly being back, I would just go with I would prefer Khalil Herbert, but with Montgomery looking like he's going to come back, I would go with Tony. Devontae Smith or Agnew, full point PPR. I would go with Devontae Smith. And there we go. We got Sam. We got a starter. Sam signs up to be a member. Yo, shout out to Sam. W's in chat for Sam for becoming a member. Number one thing Sam gets. Number one thing that Sam gets. I typed that Sam, but it's not popping up. But number one thing he gets, priority in chat. Priority in chat. Get your questions answered 100% of the time. Mitchell or Gaskin? Gaskin. CMC or Hubbard? CMC. Trade CMC for Alvin Kamara. I would do that. Alvin Kamara has already had his bye week as well. Is James Robinson playing today? It doesn't look likely. We should know at 11:30 for sure. Rondale Moore or Samuel with the injury? I would go with Samuel still. Should I accept? I get Knox and J-Rob. He gets Gesicki, or he gets Gaskin and Hawkinson. I would do that. Yeah, I would do that. Thanks, man. No problem. Rondale Moore is Samuel with the injury. J-Rob is officially out. Okay, J-Rob is officially out. Thank you, Uzi. Appreciate it. What are your thoughts on Robert Woods? I like Robert Woods this week. Looks really good this week. Gets a beatable matchup against Tennessee. Edmonds or Patterson? Patterson. And we got Caleb with the $2 donation. Yo, shout out to Caleb. We got pick 2. We got Kadarius Toney, Devontae Smith, Marvin Jones. So I would go with Kadarius Toney and Marvin Jones. Thank you, Caleb, for the $2 donation. Appreciate it. And we got Mixon for Chubb for flex. I would go with Mixon. I've literally been the next question up twice. LOL. Kyler, Ben, Tyrod, and Gaskin in 2-quarterback league. I need to figure out who to play. So I would go with Tyrod Taylor, and I would go with Jacoby Brissett. So Tyrod Taylor and Jacoby Brissett. Should I trade Kamara for Najee? I wanted your opinion before I decide. You know me, I'm a Steelers fan, so I might be a little bit biased. So I would probably do that, but it's really close. I mean, I think that it's a horse piece, but I probably would do that. 49ers defense, I think they're startable. Tua ruled out. Tua is officially out, yes. Elijah Mitchell or Peterson, Elijah Mitchell. Landry, Jerry Jeudy, Renfro, or Tony at flex. I would go with Jerry Jeudy there, Sam. And Toxic Fox. We got Mitchell, Pitts, Connor, Ayuk, or Beasley at flex. Is this PPR toxic? If it's PPR, I want to go with Mitchell still, but I'm a little iffy on Mitchell. I won't lie. Like I'm a little iffy, but I would still go with Mitchell. Now, if you are concerned about Mitchell, then I would probably go with Beasley. And then next, I would go with Pitts. So if you are iffy about Mitchell, I would go with Beasley, followed by Pitts. Edmonds or Boston Scott? Edmonds. Booker Higgins at flex. Booker for me. Yes, it's PPR. Jeff Wilson or Dearness Johnson? Oof. I would go with Jeff Wilson. Should I start CMC and Montgomery? I wouldn't start Montgomery just because we won't know. Unless you have a backup plan for Montgomery in case he doesn't play. That's what I would do. Mike Williams or Marquise Brown? Mike Williams. I would go with Mike Williams. What are your top 3 quarterbacks currently for this week? My top 3 quarterbacks are Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and Lamar Jackson. My top 3 quarterbacks. Cards D or Raiders D? I would go with the Raiders D. Love or Brissett? I would go with Love. Landry or Sanders? Sanders. Mike Williams or Marquise Brown? Mike Williams. Landry or Sanders? Sanders. Khalil Herbert, Kadarius Toney, or Hunter Renfro? I would go with Hunter Renfro. Hunter Renfro or Jerry Jeudy? Jerry Jeudy. Pick 2 to start. Jeff Wilson, Bateman, Myers, and Toney. Start 2? I would go with Bateman and I would go with Toney. Bateman and Toney. Moss versus Jacksonville or Darrell Williams versus Green Bay? Darrell Williams. Actually, should I do Saquon for Najee instead? I would do that, yeah. I would do that trade, yes. Hey, man, should I accept this trade? I give Damian Harris and Kittle and get Elliott. Yes, I would do that trade 100%. Limited Kittle or Jared Cook? Limited Kittle. Jimmy G or Mayfield? Ugh. I would go with Baker Mayfield, though. Debo or Hollywood? Oh, boy. I mean, I would say Debo. I am a little concerned about the calf injury, but I would still go Debo. What are you drinking, big dog? Saratoga, what it's called. It's sparkling water. I love sparkling water. I love water, but I like sparkling water. Both of them were really good. I like water. It's just sparkling water. Mike Williams or DJ Moore? Mike Williams. Waddle or Jerry Jeudy? Waddle or Jerry Jeudy? I have Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy or Patterson, full point PPR? Patterson. So I'm in a keeper league. And my keepers are Mahomes, Cook, and Diggs, but I got offered Kyler Murray, Justin Jefferson, and Brandon Cooks for Mahomes. Yeah, I would definitely do that. Yes. Mike, I would do that. Jerry Jeudy or Landry? Jerry Jeudy. Mayfield, Love, Daniel Jones, or Jimmy G? I would go with Daniel Jones. Julio or Christian Kirk? Julio. Mahomes or Tua? Tua's out, so Mahomes. Tua's officially out for everybody that's considering playing him. Tua's officially out. Officially out. Also, time for a plug, yes? If you haven't already, do me a big favor. We're nearly at 100 likes. We're at 98 likes. Let's get to 100. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile. Go to my link tree. That's in my description. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over. Get your questions answered. All right, let's get back to it. Should I start Hyde or Foreman? Hyde for me. I'm stuck. Conklin or Kittle? I would go with Kittle there still. I know that might be limited, but I would still go him. Brissett or Mayfield? Tua out. I would go with Jacoby Brissett. Hyde or McNichols? If James Robinson's out, so Hyde. Dallas Goedert, Damian Harris at flex. I would go with PPR. I would go with Dallas Goedert. Who do I bench? CMC, Evans, or Claypool? I would bench Claypool. Pick 2. Waddle, Keenan Allen, Hill, Deontay. Oof. Keenan Allen, Hill. Tough. Mike Davis or Hyde? Hyde. Darrell Williams, Boston Scott, or Gaskin? Got to lose one. Boston Scott. My matchup this week doesn't change. His lineup ever. So it's Keenan Allen, Dalvin Cook, Sanders, Thielen, Galladay, Kelsey, Fournette, Diggs. Wait, is he really starting Fournette? Oh man. Yo, that guy never changed his lineup. R.I.P. Do I still like Gesicki? Absolutely. You love Gesicki. You love Gesicki because we've seen with Jacoby Myers, he's probably going to give Mike Gesicki like 15 targets today. If you're playing DFS, fire up Mike Gesicki as your tight end today. You want Mike Gesicki in your lineups. 159.7%. Is Tyrod Taylor a good starter for Jacoby Myers or Danny Dimes? I'd rather go Danny Dimes, but I do like Tyrod, yes. Bateman or Herbert at flex, full point PPR. Also, my buddy just asked me Boston Scott or Javonte Williams, so I figured I'd ask for. I would go with Javonte Williams and I would go with Bateman just because I would love to go Herbert, but I don't know if David Montgomery plays, and if David Montgomery plays, like it's just going to be a frustrating situation where probably David Montgomery is going to lead this backfield in touches. So I would just go with Bateman. Would you take the trade Zeke and Thielen for Devontae Adams and James Robinson? Zeke and Thielen for Devontae Adams and James Robinson. Honestly, I would keep the Zeke and Thielen side. Both have had their bye weeks. Both are healthy right now. James Robinson's a little bit banged up, so I would go with Zeke and Thielen side. Will DJ Moore play better or worse with CMC back? I think CMC helps this offense as a whole, so I think it'll be better. Emmons or Patterson? I would go with Patterson. Kittle or Higbee? I would go with Kittle. Keenan Allen or Deontay rest of the year? Deontay. Leo Herbert or David Montgomery as RB2? Okay, if David Montgomery plays, I would fire him up. Otherwise, Khalil Herbert. Dallas Goedert or Conklin? Dallas Goedert. If Kyler gets ruled out, should I start Tyrod or Love? I would go with Tyrod. Well, I think that Kyler really isn't going to play today, and you won't have the time. Well, what time is that game? Okay, so I would go Love. That way I would probably just go Love. Yeah, I would just go Love. But I would rather play Tyrod, though, honestly. So I would just go Tyrod. I don't think Kyler's going to play today. Should I start Adrian Peterson? Depends on your other options. Deontay Johnson or Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase. Thoughts on DJ Moore? DJ Moore, I like him. This is going to be a tough matchup, though. Ingram or Freeman? Freeman. Deontay Johnson or Jamar Chase? Jamar Chase. Elijah Mitchell, a good start this week? Yes, I like him this week. Darrell Williams, Rondell Moore, or Renfro? I would go with Darrell Williams. Keenan Allen or Marquise Brown? Non-PPR? I would go with Marquise Brown. Gaskin or Moss? Gaskin. I see 105 legs. Yeah, let's get it. What do we think? How many legs can we get up to? Let's get up to 110. Come on, smash that like button if you haven't already smashed that like button. And you drinking champagne? No, I'm not drinking champagne. Just sparkling water. What are you drinking? Are you drinking some beer? Do I start Van Jefferson? Hey, Raiders gonna lose today. I know that's my Raider fan in chat there. Raiders. What do you think about the Raiders today? The Raiders gonna win or lose? Tell me. Mixon or Jacobs? Mixon. Is CMC playing? It looks like he's going to be playing, yes. Kyler and D-Hop both travel with the team, but they aren't expected to play. Yes. Should I start Hyde or Foreman? Hyde. Jay Williams or Boston Scott or McNichols at RB2? I would go with McNichols. Chuba or Brian Edwards? Brian Edwards. Jeff Wilson, Elijah Mitchell, or James Robinson? Elijah Mitchell. Emmanuel Sanders or Van Jefferson? Emmanuel Sanders. Should I start Adrian Peterson? Depends on your other options. Matt Ryan or Tyrod? Tyrod. Ayuk or Sutton? Sutton. Do I start Van Jefferson or Khalil Herbert? I would go with Van Jefferson, personally. Emmons or Mitchell? Mitchell. Great channel, bro. Appreciate it. Appreciate the love. 112 likes. Let's get it. Devontae Smith or Julio Jones? I would go with Julio. Jeff Wilson, Elijah Mitchell. I already got that one, Elijah Mitchell. Team Get Swifty going to take the dub? Probably not. Teams, that's kind of lame that last week we drafted and all those that counted for last week and we didn't get to set our lineups. That was kind of lame. I didn't like that. McDonald's or Wendy's? I think I like Wendy's, to be honest with you. I like Wendy's. Although Wendy's is a little bit more expensive than McDonald's and they don't have the true dollar menu that McDonald's has. So I would definitely say that's an advantage. But if I like just the actual food, I like Wendy's more. AJ Brown's safe to start tonight. Yeah, I think so. Matt Ryan or Tyrod Taylor? Tyrod Taylor. Thoughts on McNichols? I think he's going to be a really good, a solid RB 2 for the rest of the season in PPR leagues. Amari Cooper, Woods, DJ Moore, choose one. I would go with DJ Moore. Melvin Gordon or T. Higgins or Van Jefferson. I would go with T. Higgins. Beasley, Mooney, or Hopkins off the bench. Beasley. Fancy bottle for water. It is a fancy bottle. But it's good. And the alkaline level in it's actually like legit. It's good. So the McRib is back, guys. The McRib is back. I don't think I've ever had a McRib, to be honest. Maybe I'll try one today. Brissett or Tyrod? I would go Tyrod. Mike Gesicki or George Kittle? Mike Gesicki. Tua or... No, that's Bateman or Jeff Wilson. Bateman. Melvin Gordon, Carlos Hyde, or Kenyon Drake? I would go with Carlos Hyde there. Pick 2, we got Booker, Jarrell Williams, Gaskin, Harris. I would go with Jarrell Williams and Gaskin. What's up? Tua is out. Would you fire up Waddle over Devontae Smith or Agnew? I would fire up over both of them. I would personally go over Agnew, yes. Good channel here. Appreciate it. Thank you, John. Is CD expected to play? I believe so. Can someone let me know in chat? We're going to have the injury report should be coming out now with these guys expected to play. So we'll get the idea right now. McRib is the best. Maybe I'll have to try it. Maybe I'll have to try it today. So we'll know, like here, we should be finding out right now. So if I don't have the notifications turned on my phone right now, so I'm not getting them right now. So let me know in chat what the word is, what the inactives are, who's expected to play. Let me know in chat. I'm relying on you guys. Desperate. We got Rashard Higgins, Zay Jones, Tyson Williams. I would go with Rashard Higgins with OBJ now gone. Should I play Mitchell even though he's hurt? I would. Agnew or Chenault? Ugh. I would go probably with Agnew, to be honest with you. Hunter Renfrow, Freiermuth, or Conklin. I would rather go with Hunter Henry. That's Hunter Henry. Freiermuth or Conklin. I would go with Hunter Henry. It's really close between him and Freiermuth. I missed what you said. I missed what you said. He said he wanted one of my receivers. I have Mike Evans, DK, Devontae Adams, CD, and AJ Brown. Which one should I give up? I mean, which one out of all of them would I like? Mike Evans, I guess, would be the one that I would want to give up the most. Okay, Tyler, to keep our picks going, who is your upset pick? I'm going with the Bears. The Bears this week? Yo, then I'm going to go with Denver this week. No. My upset pick. Ooh, I only can pick one. There's a couple that I like. Okay, so if I have to pick one, I'm going to go with the Texans over the Dolphins. Okay. Technically, it's an upset pick because they're 4-point underdog. So I'm going to go with the Texans. All right. I'm going with the Texans. Lamb and Cooper are officially active. Okay. So Lamb and Cooper are officially active. Thank you, Clay. Kirk or Rondell? I would go with Kirk. Pick 2, we got Mitchell, Darrell Williams, or Boston Scott. Mitchell and Darrell Williams. D-Hop not expected to play, as well as Kyler is a game-time decision. Okay, so really, I would just avoid that situation as a whole. Unless you have, like, Jordan Love, then, let's see what happens. But, I would just try to avoid that situation. Start Kittle or Zach Ertz. I would go with Kittle there. Kittle or Hunter Henry. I would go with Kittle. Agnew or Mike Davis. Agnew. Actually, gosh, yeah, I would probably go Agnew. Like, both of them, brutal matchups. Start Cole Beasley, Devontae Smith, full point PPR. I would go with Cole Beasley. Sutton or Boston Scott in my flex. Also, Love or Tyrod at QB. Lost Tua. I would go with Sutton or Boston Scott. I would go with Sutton there. And Love or I would go with Tyrod. Just went to Fantasy Doctors and he said Elijah Mitchell is very risky. Could even lose playing time to Jeff Wilson if Mitchell re-injures himself. I'm still fired up Elijah Mitchell. I'm sticking with it. Is James Conner a good play at flex if Kyler is hurt? I definitely think that they're going to have to run the ball a little bit more, but it's a tough matchup. I don't really like James Conner that much, no. Amari, because the thing with James Conner is that you want touchdowns, and this team is probably not going to score as much if Kyler's out. So, Steelers defense or Panthers defense? I would go Steelers defense. Favorite food? Pizza. Anybody know what Pizza's from? Pizza, like it's PR. Anybody know what that's from? Let me know in the chat if you know what that's from. Waddle or Lizard? Lizard. I would go with Waddle there. Waddle, Renfro, Tony, or Jerry Jeudy. Pick two. I would go with Waddle and Jerry Jeudy. Waddle. Claypool, Mitchell, Boston Scott, or Brian Edwards. I'm still going to fire Mitchell. Pick three. We got Debo, Diggs, Jamar, Cordell. I would go with Debo, Jamar, Diggs. Marvin Jones, Melvin Gordon, or Jeremy McNichols. I would go with Marvin Jones. Amari Cooper or Waddle, Tannehill or Love. I would go with Tannehill, Amari Cooper, Waddle, Amari Cooper, Brandon Ayuk, or Agnew. I would go with Brandon Ayuk, unfortunately. Ugh. Don't feel great about it. Also, real quick, I got to plug in my phone because my phone's going to die over on TikTok. Also, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. I guess this is a great time for a quick plug. So, quick plug here. If you enjoy, actually, quick plug. Okay, let's start over. If you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed over on YouTube. And if you're over on TikTok, do me a big favor, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So, profile, link tree, in the description. You'll see my link to come over to my YouTube channel. It's a link tree, so come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. Also, if you're over on YouTube right now, you appreciate what I do, consider signing up to be a member. It's $2.99. Number one thing that it does for you, though, it guarantees your question gets answered 100% of the time. Anything that you say in chat gets 100 question answered. You get your question answered 100% of the time. As low as $2.99. You sign up to be a member. There's different tiers, different things that you can unlock. Also, super chats are available to ensure you get your questions answered. Also help support the channel. So appreciate everybody hanging out. Also check out over on Patreon. Patreon right now, it's as low as $1. You get my rankings, top 120 flex, running back rankings, wide receiver rankings, quarterback, defense, kicker, all those rankings are available. Tight end, all of them are available over on Patreon. Also, they're available on YouTube if you sign up with I believe it's the All-Star tier. You get my rankings, and also you get your questions answered in chat as well. All right, so does your answer change if CD's playing? I could start him over Henderson, Adams, or AJ Brown. No, I'd rather start the other guys personally. Mike Williams or Mike Gesicki for flex. I would go with, give me Mike Gesicki. I'm going Mike Gesicki today. I love Mike Gesicki. Boston Scott or Zach Moss. I would go with Zach Moss. Waddle or Woods this week. I would go with Waddle this week. Khalil Herbert or Adrian Peterson. I would go with AP. I would really love to say Khalil Herbert. You know what? I'm just going to say Khalil Herbert because I still envision him being involved in this offense, even if Montgomery plays. I really don't like Adrian Peterson today. Brian Edwards or Christian Kirk. I would go with Brian Edwards. No, I would go with Christian Kirk. I have Adams this week. Do I start despite? Yeah, I would still fire him up. I still think he's a top 10 play. Brian Edwards or Tajay Sharp. Brian Edwards. Waddle is a good flex play with Tua out. Other options are Emmanuel Sanders, Elijah Mitchell, Jerry Jeudy. I would rather go with one of the wide receivers, possibly Elijah Mitchell. I would really like to go Elijah Mitchell, but I think that Jerry Jeudy is the other guy I would go. Claypool, T. Higgins, Mike Williams. I would go with Mike Williams. Mike Williams or Keenan Allen. Mike Williams. Tyrod, Bridgewater, Mac Jones, or Jordan Love. I would go with Tyrod Taylor. Kadarius Toney, Rondale Moore, Rashad Bateman, or Brandon Ayuk. I would go with Kadarius Toney. Bro, is Mike Williams going to bounce back? He should. Henderson Smith inactive for the Vikings. Unlike him, he's inactive. Ooh, Rondale or Rashad Bateman. Sammy Watkins will maybe that affects Mark Andrews more. Sammy Watkins out. Sammy Watkins officially out. Ooh, that's interesting for Rashad Bateman. Now he officially takes over as a wide receiver too. And guys, real quick, I need to change my starting lineup here. I need to adjust my starting lineup with that news. So just give me a quick moment here. Actually, I'll do that in a little bit. I'll pull it up and I'll fix my starting lineups real quick because with more inactives coming through, then I'm gonna change stuff here. Ugh, Gosh, my team looked really good this week, and now with all these inactives coming through, my team is really hurting. My team is definitely hurting here. All right. So let's get back to answering questions. Pick 2, Jerry Jeudy, Claypool, Chase Edmonds, Emmanuel Sanders. I would go with Jerry Jeudy, and I would go with Emmanuel Sanders there, Gaming Incorporated. Love or Herbert? Herbert. Scott, Mitchell, or Gordon? Mitchell. Bateman looking better and better as the day goes on. Yes, he does. Jalen Waddle or Cordell Patterson at flex, and why? I mean, I would go with Cordell Patterson. The reason why is because you don't have Calvin Ridley there anymore. I mean, I believe he's been a top 10 running back throughout the season now in PPR league. So, I mean, I would still fire him up. Teddy, 2 gloves, Justin Fields, or Matty Ice? Oof. Let me check my quarterback rankings real quick. I want to say Matt Ryan. No, I would go Justin Fields. I really don't like it, but I would probably go Justin Fields just for that rushing potential. Superflex, Teddy B or Brissett? I would go with Jacoby Brissett. Landry, Julio, Robert Woods, Patterson, pick 2. I would go with Robert Woods and Patterson. Pick 3, Debo, Jamar, Stephon Diggs, or Cordell Patterson. I would go with Debo, Jamar, Stephon Diggs. Is what I would do. All right. Is there any news on Elijah Mitchell yet? Have they said anything about him? Expected to play. He's expected to play. Both when uncertain how long each player will be able to go. Hoping there are no and hoping there's no. Yeah. So he's expected to play. Oh wait, James Rob? No. But will be known in game time workouts. Not much optimism. Okay, so not much optimism with DeAndre Hopkins, Kyler, and James Robinson. Okay, so those guys looking like they're going to be out. Okay. All right. I'm like, I get that Elijah Mitchell might be limited here, but I'm still going to fire him up. I still going to play him today. He's looking a little iffy, but like it's just a rib injury. Like a lot of these guys play through the rib injury. I think he's going to be good to go. Pick 1, Booker, Harris, Scott. I would go with Booker. Kyler or Burrow? Burrow. James Robinson is inactive. Okay, James Robinson is officially out. Pick 1, Booker, Harris, Scott. I would go with Booker. Am I nuts for potentially benching Chuba for Derek Gore, or I'm really just hoping for a touchdown somewhere? I would go with I would probably go Chuba over those guys. If I had to pick one, I would go with Derek Gore. Is Chuba worth the start? I don't think so. Hopefully you got somebody else better than him. Dalton Schultz or Zach Ertz? Dalton Schultz. Cole Beasley or Emmanuel Sanders? I would go with Emmanuel Sanders. Should I bet the over on Kamara having more than 116 yards? I would, yeah. Wait, no, 100? No, I wouldn't. I would bet the under on that. Is McCaffrey playing and Kyler or Burrow? I think McCaffrey is playing, and I would go with Burrow. Rashad Bateman or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. Landry or McNichols? I would go with Landry. Do you see Ayuk getting at least 10 targets today? Jimmy going to throw the ball to somebody? 10 targets, I think that's a lot, but definitely be more involved in this offense for sure. But Debo's going to be playing, so will Kittle, so I don't know about 10. Hyde or Dan Arnold at flex? I would go with Hyde. Jordan Love, Jacoby Brissett, Tyrod Taylor, pick 1. I would go with Tyrod. Claypool, Waddle, or Can Jefferson? Can Jefferson? I would go with Waddle. Struggling right now, Jacoby or Ayuk? At that point, I would probably fire up Ayuk, yes. Pick 2, Mike Williams, Debo, Emmanuel, Debo Samuel, Robert Woods. Mind you, I have Austin Eckler. I would go with Mike Williams and Debo. Mike Williams and Debo. I got to turn off. Why does my phone keep getting unplugged? Frustrating. Ah. Also, if you're over on YouTube, or if you're on YouTube right now, do me a big favor, smash that like button. We're at 115 likes. Let's get up to 125 likes. We can do it. 125 likes. Smash that like button if you want that extra karma today, that extra luck in your fantasy football matchups. So smash that like button, hit subscribe, and if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered, and make sure you hit that follow button over on TikTok as well, as I do TikTok only live streams at time as well. So get notified when I go live. Is Brandon Ayuk good if Debo is out? I think he's decent if Debo is out. Myers or Kirk at flex? I would go with Myers or Kirk. I would go with Kirk there. Mike Williams, Kittle, or Tony to start. Mike Williams. Debo, Woods, or CMC? CMC. Who should I start? Booker or Scott? I would go with Booker. Picked up Ayuk and dropped A-Rob. Good move. Picked up Ayuk and dropped A-Rob. Good move. Yeah, I think that's a good move. I picked up Tyrod since K1 probably not playing. Do I drop Bateman or Jeff Wilson? I would drop Jeff Wilson. Is Ayuk a good start if Debo doesn't play? I think he's decent. Waddle or Lamb? Lamb, I would go. Herbert and McNichols, I would go with McNichols. Pick 2, Herbert, Mitchell, Jerry Jeudy, Myers, Bateman, Mitchell, and Jerry Jeudy. Hunter Renfrow, Kadarius Toney, Hunter Renfrow. James Conner or Carlos Hyde, I would go with I would go with Carlos Hyde. Julio, Jerry Jeudy, Woods. Jerry Jeudy. Woods or Renfrow? Woods. Julio Herbert, AP, Jarrell Williams, pick 2. I would go with Jarrell Williams, and I would go with MP. That's so tough. I would probably go with Khalil Herbert though. Carr Love. Carr. All right, caught up to the questions, huh? Caught up on these questions. Let's keep going. Come on, we got about an hour and 15 minutes left. A little bit less than an hour and 15 minutes. Till 1 o'clock. So get your last minute questions in. Once again, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. Over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. We got Carr or Love, Carr, Baker or Love, McNichols, or if CMC is good enough, I would go with CMC, yes. Who should I start, Dearness Johnson or Adrian Peterson? I would go with Adrian Peterson, hope the best. Hopefully he falls in the end zone. No RB depth. Should I be worried starting Kenyon Drake as an RB2? I wouldn't be confident, that's for sure. Woods or Bateman? I would go with Woods. Woods today. And real quick, I'm going to say this. If you appreciate what I do, as you can see right there, Jonathan, he's a member. He has a green name tag. He also has a badge next to his name. That means he's a member. Number one thing he gets priority in chat. So anytime he asks a question, I jump to his name first. You'll see other members in chat. They get priority. It's as low as $2.99. You sign up to be a member. All you got to do is click on exclamation point, type in exclamation point membership. I also did it right there. Type in membership. It will pop up. A link will take you to sign up. Low is $2.99. You sign up. There's different tiers. Also, check out the Patreon. Patreon, you can get my lineups for as low as $1, or my rankings as low as $1. So sign up to be a member. Also consider Patreon. Also, you can sign up to be an all-star. The all-star package on YouTube has my rankings included while also getting your questions answered 100% of the time. All right, sit one. AJ Brown, DJ Moore, Deebo Samuel. I would probably sit Deebo, to be honest with you. Elijah Mitchell or Gaskin. I would want to sit DJ Moore, but like these two guys are with the injuries are so tough right now. So I might sit Deebo, but I would want to sit DJ Moore. That would be the guy that I would want to sit if both these guys were healthy. But with the health, I'm a little concerned. Elijah Mitchell or Gaskin with Brissett. I would go with Gaskin. Brandon Cooks or DJ Moore. I would go with DJ Moore. Is CMC safe to start? I would start him, yeah. Woods or Mixon? Also, I don't think I answered Jonathan's question there. Beasley or Ayuk? I would go with Beasley, Jonathan. Sorry about that. Paul McCoy or Justin Fields? I would go Justin Fields. 100% worth a member. Yeah, he gets it. Clay gets it. 100% worth it. Rock out. We got pick 2. We got Kirk, Jerry Jeudy, Javonte Williams, Bateman, PPR. I would go with I would go with Jerry Jeudy, and I would go with no, I'm gonna go with Bateman. Now that Sammy Watkins is officially out, give me Bateman. So Jerry Jeudy and Bateman. Colt McCoy or Justin Fields. Justin Fields. Should I start CMC over Debo? I would. Woods or Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy. Mike Davis or Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert. Woods or Mixon. Mixon. If I can keep all of them, should I keep all of them? I would try to, Jordy. Yeah. Like, who else are you starting over them? Burrow or Mahomes? Mahomes. Should I start CMC over Debo? I would. If Debo plays, should I still start him, or should I start DJ Moore? I would probably go with Debo. It looks like he's expected to play today. They don't know how for how long, so there's definitely some risk involved there. I would probably just go with DJ Moore though, like with today. Hot pick of the day: Bengals -2. I honestly like the Bengals -2 too. I think that the Bengals win today. Burrow or Mahomes? I already got that one. Mahomes. Flex spot, non-PPR. We got Jordan Howard, Kenneth Gainwell, Dearness Johnson, and Rashad Bateman. Rashad Bateman for me. Cooks or Woods? Cooks or Woods? Cooks or Woods? I would go with Cooks, yeah. Higgins, Sutton, Myers, Herbert, start 1. Higgins, Sutton, Myers, Herbert, start 1. Higgins. I would go with Higgins. Only one, Higgins. Darrell Williams or Elijah Mitchell? I would go with Darrell Williams there. Okay, sorry for all the questions. No, don't feel sorry. Ask as many as you want. Mahomes or Rodgers? Rodgers is out, so Mahomes. Pollard or Drake? Drake. Is CMC healthy? He's going to be on a snap count, they say. Start A.J. Brown or Deontay Johnson. A.J. Brown. Start or sit McNichols or Melvin Jordan. I would go start McNichols. Mac Jones or Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor. Najee for Evans and Fournette. Full point PPR. I don't think that that's bad of a trade. If you're in a spot where you need to win this week, I probably would just keep Najee. But if you can afford it, I would probably do that trade. I think it's a pretty decent trade. Deontay or Woods? I would go with Deontay. And real quick, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Start Kittle or Jared Cook? Kittle. Booker or Moss? Booker. Herbert or Cousins? We'll go with Herbert. Tyrod Taylor or Daniel Jones? Daniel Jones. McNichols or Elijah Mitchell? Elijah Mitchell. CMC or Swift for the rest of the season? PPR. I'd probably go with CMC. Thanks for all your help, man. All your advice got me to four in all my 5 leagues. You the man. No problem. Thank you for being a member, signing up, and also hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody in chat that hangs out with me like every single Sunday. Comes to these live streams. Appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Devontae Smith or T. Higgins? I would go T. Higgins. Gaskin or Moss? Gaskin. Kittle or Kirk and flex? I would go with Kirk. David Montgomery, Boston Scott, Hines or Christian Kirk? I would go with Christian Kirk there. Nick Richard with the $2 donation. Yo, shout out to Nick. Carlos Hyde or Mike Davis? With James Robinson out, I would go with Carlos Hyde. Fire up Carlos Hyde. Appreciate the $2 donation. Is A.J. Brown good to start? Yes, I would start him. Gesicki or Andrews under tight end? I would go with Gesicki. Boston Scott or Jarvis Landry? I would go Jarvis Landry still, even though it's non-PPR. Zeke, Henderson, Aaron Jones. Sit 1? Oh, my gosh. I would go with Aaron Jones, unfortunately. CMC, A.J. Brown, full go. Yes, fire up A.J. Brown. CMC or Cook rest of the season? Cook. Already had his bye week for me. I would go with him. Gronkowski or Gesicki? Gesicki. iSubscription, iMembership is what you got to do. iMembership to sign up to be a member. Moss or McNichols? Moss. Angel, appreciate the $1 donation. Yo, shout out to Angel in chat. Angel, aren't you already signed up as well? Just supporting the channel? Yo, appreciate you. Thank you, homie. Unless you have a question as well, go ahead and ask it. I'll look for it. Cousins or Carr? I would go with Kirk Cousins. Devontae Smith or Kenyon Drake? Devontae Smith. Do you think A.J. Brown will be guarded by Ramsey, though? They really haven't shadowed with Ramsey. So I'm not... The top CB of the Broncos would guard Cooper, so I don't know about Brown. I would still fire up A.J. Brown. They're going to be I believe they're 7-point underdogs, so they're going to have to throw the ball a lot. So I'm still firing them up personally. Is Kirk a good play this week? I think he's decent. Even though Kyler going to be out, I still think he's a decent play. Teddy Bridgewater, Jacoby Brissett, Emmanuel Sanders, or Christian Kirk, Emmanuel Sanders. Thanks for all your help and advice, bro. All the help has gotten me top 4 in all my leagues. Yo, shout out to Jonathan. Thank you. Thank you. You're welcome. No problem. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you out. Pick 2, we got a $2 donation from Bob. Yo, shout out to Bob. Thank you for the $2 donation. We got PPR. Pick 1. Peoples-Jones, Bateman, Elijah Mitchell. I would go with, if I had to start 1, I would go with Elijah Mitchell. Close between him and Bateman, but I would go with Elijah Mitchell personally. And appreciate the $2 donation. Yo, shout out. Shout out to everybody in chat for hanging out. Bateman or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. Mahomes or Burrow? Mahomes. Lamar or Joe Burrow? Lamar. Waddle, Jerry Jeudy or Landry? Jerry Jeudy. Bateman or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. Is Chubb a good start? Or is Chuba a good start? I don't really like starting Chuba now. Should I start Gesicki with Tua out? Yes, I would still fire him up. Mahomes or Lamar? I would go with Lamar. Pick 2, we got Elijah Mitchell, Devontae Booker, Josh Jacobs, Darrell Williams. I would go with Devontae Booker and Darrell Williams. Daniel Jones or Big Ben? Daniel Jones. Brissett or Bridgewater? Brissett. Waller or Gesicki? I'm still going Gesicki there. Myers or Landry? I would go with Landry. Bateman or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. Start 1. Debo, Henderson, CMC. Henderson for me. Jerry Jeudy or Tony? I would go with Jerry Jeudy. And we got a $2.79 donation from Nico. Appreciate it, Nico. Who's a good QB to start from waivers? It depends on who's really available. Some guys that I would say Daniel Jones, Derek Carr, if they're available. If not, like Tyrod Taylor, Ryan Tannehill. I would say Jordan Love, Justin Fields, those guys. I would rank them in that order. So, like, I would go with who did I say first? Daniel Jones. Well, Derek Carr, Daniel Jones, Tannehill, Tyrod, Jordan Love, Justin Fields. And appreciate the donation as well. Thank you. Chubb, Jacobs, Patterson, pick 2. I would go with Chubb and Patterson. Allen, Williams, or Hollywood. Full point PPR, I would go with Allen and Williams. Or no, I would go with Williams and Hollywood. Elijah Mitchell, Melvin Gordon, Elijah Mitchell. Number 1 in my league, 8-0, hoping to be 9-0. JT already dropping me 35. Ooh, I wish you the best of luck. Beasley, Hollywood Brown, or Landry? Hollywood Brown. Lamb or Jerry? Lamb. Hey, Tyler, I need help with my running back lineups. I have Mitchell and Herbert starting, Dalton, Schultz in the flex. On the bench, have McNichols and Hyde. This looks good. Yeah, I think this looks good. I might go McNichols over. I might go Hyde over Herbert. Like, I want to start Herbert. I really do want to start Herbert. But does David Montgomery play? Do we have any word on David Montgomery if he's officially going to play this week? I just feel like it's so weird for him to be coming back this week. With a bye week next week. You know what I mean? There's a really good chance that we'll be playing. I just feel like it's so weird for him to come back right before the bye week. Maybe he does, though. Maybe he does. All right. Is CMC playing? Nico, we got another donation from Nico. Is CMC playing? Christian McCaffrey, is he officially active? Do we have word? Last I saw, he's expected to play. Is officially active. Yes, he's active today. Yes, he's officially playing today. Nico, he's officially playing. Full point PPR, Waller or Pitts this week, and then rest of the season, I would go with Waller. And rest of the season, Waller. All right. And real quick, this feels like a great time for a quick plug. If you haven't already, do me a big favor. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Really appreciate it. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile in the description will be my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Also, make sure you hit that follow button. I do TikTok only live streams. So get notified when I go live over on TikTok. And if you're over on YouTube, Okay, you're starting to see some of these donations. You also see people in chat. They have a green name tag with a badge. That means that these guys are members. They get priority in chat any single time. Anytime they ask a question, they 100% get their questions answered, guaranteed. So if you want your questions answered, believe me, I'm trying to answer everybody's questions. The best thing that you can do is sign up to be a member. It's as low as $2.99. Sign up to be a member. Click. All you got to do is type in !membership. It will take you to the link. There's different tiers that you can sign up for. The lowest right now is $2.99. Also, the All-Star one, you get my rankings as well. Also, you can check out my Patreon. It's as low as $1. You get my rankings over on Patreon. J-Rob isn't playing, Tyler. Yeah, J-Rob is not playing today. I won't risk it. I'll put Hyde over Herbert. Yeah, I would do that. I really don't think Montgomery. I don't know, because what he said, there's a really good chance that he could play. He might play. I would love to go Herbert. Believe me, I would definitely love to go Herbert, but it's creating hesitation, especially with it being Monday night. Patterson or Eckler? Eckler. Carlos Hyde or Mike Davis? Need help? I would go with Carlos Hyde. PPR, we got McNichols, Tajay Sharp, or Rashad Bateman. Pick one. I would go with Rashad Bateman. Nick Richard with the $2 donation. Yo, there we go with Nick Richard. We got Saints or Cowboys defense. I would go with the Cowboys defense this week. Appreciate the $2 donation from Nick. Shout out to Nick. One of the OGs in chat. Nico, another donation. $2.75. Shout out to Nico. Jerry Jeudy or Myles Gaskin. I would go with Myles Gaskin. Debo playing. Debo is expected to play, yes. And shout out to Nico. $2.79 donation as well. Thank you, Nico, and thank you, Nick. Thank you to everybody. Appreciate everybody. Why do you like Gaskin? Because, you only have a couple guys playing for the Miami Dolphins. This is a really good matchup against the Houston Texans in a game that I think is going to be decently high scoring as well. So I like Gaskin this week. And we got, shout out to Bob. Bob becomes a starter. He becomes a member at the YouTube channel, becomes a member, signs up. Number one thing Bob gets, he gets his questions answered 100% of the time. Clay, Cousins, Tannehill, or Tyrod? I would go with Kirk Cousins there. Clay. Hi, what's up? What's up, Iron? How you doing? How limited is Debo today? This is what I think is going to happen with Debo. He's going to go until maybe he can't go anymore. Could he play the whole game? Absolutely. Could he maybe have to come out? Certainly. I don't think he's going to be limited in a snap count. It's going to be limited in terms of how much he can actually play. So for me, as a player, I have no idea how much he's actually, as a somebody that's not a player, I have no idea how much he's going to play, but I believe he's going to go until he can't go anymore, and he could possibly go the entire game. Nick Richard with another donation. We got Nick Richard, Derek Gore, or Robbie Anderson, full point PPR. I'd rather go with Robbie Anderson. I don't really like Robbie Anderson a whole lot, but I'd rather play him over Derek Gore, especially in full point PPR, just because Derek Gore didn't have any receiving upside last week. So Robbie Anderson there. Once again, appreciate the $2 donation again, Nick. Thank you. Jared Cook versus Pat Freiermuth. I would go with Freiermuth. Would you recommend picking up Ayuk? I would pick up Ayuk. Because Debo, it looks like Debo might have this calf injury right now. This dreaded calf injury that all these people have been getting this season. So he could land himself on IR. Definitely possible. So I would 100% pick up Ayuk right now. Full point PPR, we got Edmonds at 49ers. Javonte Williams, I would go with Edmonds there, Jonathan. DJ Moore, Waddle, DJ Moore. Tua is not starting, right? Yes, Tua is officially out. Any good quarterbacks I can pick up, since it doesn't look like Tua is picking up or is playing. So guys that, I don't know who's available in your waivers, but guys that are as a free agent, Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones, Derek Carr. Also, I would say, who else would be a good guy? Like Ryan Tannehill, Tyrod Taylor, Jordan Love, and Fields, in that order. Those are the guys I would pick up. And another one. We got Nick Richard, another $5 donation from Nick. Appreciate you, Nick. Boy, coming in with the big donos here. Thank you. Start two when flex. We got full point PPR. We got Christian Kirk, Hardman, Hyde, Beasley, or A-Rob. So in full point PPR, start two. I would go with Beasley, and I would go with Hyde with James Robinson out. So Carlos Hyde, last week saw a good amount of receiving work. This team should be playing from behind. It's not going to be a good matchup for him, but they should be playing from behind. He should see a decent amount of work in the receiving game. So Carlos Hyde and Cole Beasley for me this week. And once again, big shout out. big W's in the chat for Nick. Nick always coming through with these donos every single week. Donating to the channel. So thank you, Nick, with the $5 donation. And we got Nico. Nico with the $2.79 donation again. Shout out to Nico. Marvin Jones, Myers, or Jerry Jeudy. I would go with Jerry Jeudy. Appreciate the donation as well. Shout out to Nico. This is now multiple times that he's donated as well. So shout out to Nico. Thank you so much for the donations. Thank you to everybody for being a part of the Aspire Sports channel and hanging out. And fantasy, do you believe in backup QBs if your quarterback already had a bye? No, I don't. If your quarterback already had a bye, as long as you have like a really solid starting option, no. I don't believe in backup quarterbacks. You start your guy every single week. Don't worry about it. Beasley, Bateman, both coming off of injuries. I would go with Beasley. Tua is active, but not starting. I believe he is active in case of emergency. Oh, really? Okay. That's interesting. It's like a Big Ben situation years ago when he was active, and then you had, I think it was Mason Rudolph or like Landry Jones ended up getting hurt, and then he had to go in there and like set the record for the most passing yards as a backup. So maybe like that. Bold take. Christian McCaffrey injury today. Is that bold? Is that really that bold? I don't know if that's that bold. Who would you drop for Ayuk? Pollard, AP, McNichols, Scott, Bateman. I would probably drop Scott just because you only have a couple more, like I would say one more week until Miles Sanders comes back. So I would drop Boston Scott, especially if you're not starting him. Who do I start? Well, now you asked, who do I start? But I would start Bateman, especially with Sammy Watkins being out. All right. Do I start Peoples-Jones, Claypool, or Gesicki? Gesicki. D-Hop, Emmanuel, or Elijah Mitchell, or Claypool for Diggs? I get Diggs. I wouldn't do that. No, I wouldn't do that. Harris or Hyde? I would go with Harris. Tyrod Taylor or Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins. McNichols or Bryan Edwards? I would go with McNichols. Sanders or Herbert? Sanders. Let's see. We got Tyrod Taylor or Kirk Cousins? Kirk Cousins. Mike Williams or Brandon Cooks? Both have been inconsistent. I would go with Mike Williams. Pick 2. We got Marvin Jones, Van Jefferson, or Bateman. I would go with Marvin Jones and Bateman. Van Jefferson, Hartman, Derek Gore, or Monty at flex. I would go with I would go with Van Jefferson there. Darrell Williams or Gore? I would go with Darrell Williams. Emmanuel Sanders or Herbert in the flex? Emmanuel Sanders. And we got another $2 and 79 cents donation from Nico. Yo, shout out to Nico once again. We got a $5 donation there. Is it worth keeping Mike Davis? Yes, it is. Because with Mike Davis, we saw his usage go up last week with Calvin Ridley now out for the foreseeable future. So I do think that it is definitely worth holding on to Mike Davis right now. And then we got Sent, and once again, appreciate the donation. And Sent with the $5 donation. We got Carlos Hyde, Emmanuel Sanders, or Khalil Herbert. Also, do you think starting CMC is a good play? I'd start both running backs otherwise. I do think that CMC is a good play this week. I do think, like, if it's the other options, I would probably fire up CMC over those guys. If I had to pick one of the other guys, it would be Emmanuel Sanders, though. Emmanuel Sanders, that's what I would do. So, but I do think CMC is a good play. For me, I think he's a top 10 play in fantasy football at the running back position this week. Yes. And appreciate once again the $5 donation. Thank you. Melvin Gordon or Miles Sanders or Myles Gaskin, Hunter Henry or Pat Freiermuth. It's really a toss-up. It's like a flip a coin type of thing. I would probably go with Hunter Henry, but it's really close. Darrell Williams or Gore? Darrell Williams. How do you think it's going to be the top receive? How do you think it's going to be the top receive this week? What do you mean? Top receive. What do you mean by that? Josh Jacobs or Brandon Cooks? I would go with Brandon Cooks. Hollywood or Cooks? I would go with Hollywood. All right, should I start Kenny Drake, Khalil Herbert, or David Montgomery? Okay, so I would go with Khalil Herbert and Montgomery. Like, if Montgomery plays, I would start him. And luckily, you'll know, I would definitely start one of those guys over Kenyon Drake. So I would start one of those guys, just see who's active, and then put him in your starting lineup for whoever's active. Damian Harris or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. Tannehill or Love? Tannehill. Hunter Henry or Pat Freiermuth? I would go with Hunter Henry. Debo or CD? CD. Is D-Hop playing? It doesn't look likely. You like Jacobs today? I think he's all right. I think Jacobs is okay today. Landry or Claypool? Landry. Is it true Buddy the Health was suspended for PEDs? No, Buddy the Health is officially out for weeks with a back problem. He might be. He's gonna make a return early next golf season, is what I heard. He's gonna make a return back to the field, but he's officially out with a back problem. So unfortunately, he'll be back stronger. He said. Full point PPR, we got Waddle or Keenan Allen, Tua, Carr, Tyrod, or Jordan Love. I would go with out of all of them, Carr. Debo or CeeDee Lamb, CeeDee. Hubbard or C-Mac. Pick 2, Herbert, Mitchell, Jerry, Jeudy, Myers, Bateman. I would go with Mitchell and Jerry, Jeudy. Start 1, Burrow, Herbert, or Carr. Herbert. Herbie. Gesicki or Pitts? Gesicki. Stafford or Herbert? Stafford. CeeDee was clear today. Yes, fire up CeeDee. Sanders or Herbert? Sanders. And real quick, feels like a great time for another little plug here. If you're over on TikTok or if you're on YouTube right now, do me a big favor. We're at 133 likes. Let's get up to 140 likes. Come on, we can do it. 140 likes, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, Not As Busy, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Once again, profile in the description is my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. And if you're over on YouTube, believe me, I'm trying to answer everybody's questions. To get your questions answered 100% of the time, consider signing up to be a member. You can sign up. I'll put it in the chat right now. All you got to do is type in !membership. You can sign up to be a member. Get your questions answered 100% of the time. Helps grow the channel, but also number one, it helps you get your questions answered. Also, super chats are available. Check out Patreon, low as $1. You have my access to all my rankings. All right, let's get back to it. I worry Elijah Mitchell will be on a rep count with the 425 game. My other options are People Jones and Bateman. If you're worried, I would go with Bateman. He would definitely be the guy that I would go with. But like with what they said, with him just playing as much as he can, I think that Elijah Mitchell will be good. And he'll probably play like majority of this game. So I would fire him up. Kittle or Ertz? Kittle. Gaskin or Mitchell? I would go with Gaskin. Emmanuel Sanders versus Jags or Waddle versus Houston. Claypool versus Chicago. Need to start one. I would go with Emmanuel Sanders there. Emmanuel Sanders, Jacoby Myers, Emmanuel Sanders, Sutton or D-Hop. I would go with Sutton. I don't think D-Hop's playing today. At point PPR, Waddle or Beasley. I would go with Beasley. Or no, I would go with Waddle there. I'm sorry. Full point PPR, Agnew, Tony, or Kirk? Tony. Derek Carr or Tannehill? Derek Carr. Start Cordell Patterson or Nick Chubb? Nick Chubb. At the flex, do I go Khalil Herbert or Devontae Smith? I would go with Devontae Smith. I really don't like it, but I would love to go Khalil Herbert, but I'm not sure if what's-his-face going to... if David Montgomery's going to play tomorrow night. Rest of the season, pick 2. Dearness Johnson, Bryan Edwards, Ayuk. Bryan Edwards and Ayuk. Jared Cook or Hunter Henry? I would go with Hunter Henry. Tannehill or Brissett? I would go with Tannehill. Thielen, Chase, Brown, or Cole Beasley? I would start 3. I would go with Thielen, Chase, Brown. Burrow or Murray? Burrow. Kittle over Ertz, even with Kittle on pitch count? Yes, I would. Because, I don't think Kyler's going to play today. Jerry Jeudy or T. Higgins? I would go with T. Higgins. Claypool, Ayuk, Tony, pick 2. I would go with Tony, and I'm going to fire up Ayuk. Well, I would go Ayuk. Jarvis Landry or Renfro? I would go with Hunter Renfro. Devontae Adams, Stephon Diggs, Brandon Cooks, and Marquise Brown. I have to, oh my gosh, you have to leave out one? It's between Brandon Cooks and Marquise Brown. I probably would go with Marquise Brown. Darrell Williams or Tony? Darrell Williams. Should I drop Melvin Gordon for Ayuk rest of the season? No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't personally. Schultz or Goddard? Goddard. Cordell Patterson or Boston Scott? I might start Patterson because of, I would go with Patterson there. Moss or Darrell Williams? Darrell Williams. What wide receiver will have the most fantasy points in PPR league this week? I mean, it's really hard to go against Cooper Kupp. I'm going to say Cooper Kupp. I mean, it's the easy option, but I'm going to say Cooper Kupp. DFS, should I fade Waddle since Tua is out? No, I think that Waddle is a decent play this week in DFS. With people maybe thinking that, he might be even a better play because his ownership might be lower. Cordell Patterson or Chubb? I would go with Chubb. Start 3, we got Hollywood, AJ Brown, Cooks, Jefferson, and DJ Moore. So I would go with AJ Brown. I would go with Jefferson and DJ Moore. Marquise Brown, Kadarius Toney, or Keenan Allen. Pick one. Marquise Brown, Kadarius Toney, Keenan Allen. Marquise Brown for me. Rest of the year, pick 2. We got Dearness Johnson, Ayuk, or Bryan Edwards. I would go with Ayuk and Bryan Edwards. Kadarius Toney, Cole Beasley, Hunter Renfrow, or DJ Moore. Got to start 2. I would go with Hunter Renfrow and DJ Moore. Pick 1. Devontae Booker, Emmanuel Sanders, Hunter Renfrow. I would go with Devontae Booker out of all those guys. AP or Devontae Freeman? Devontae Freeman. Emmanuel Sanders, T. Higgins, Robert Woods, D. Hop, Cortland Sutton. Pick 3. All right, so Emmanuel Sanders, T. Higgins, and I would go with Robert Woods. Over under McNichols 10. I feel like right there. If I had to pick one, if it's PPR, I would say over. Debo or Higgins? Debo or Higgins? Debo. I would go with Debo. I am missing Barkley, Swift, J-Rob, Fant, Gronk, and possibly Murray. Ooh, that is rough. Jerry Jeudy, Tony. I would go with Jerry Jeudy. Pick 1. We got Sutton, Tony, Scott, Javonte. I would go with Sutton. Wait, no. Yeah. I would go Sutton there. Sutton. And real quick, if you haven't already, smash that like button. Good karma. It's going to be good karma for you to win your fantasy football matchups. So smash that like button. Over on YouTube, we're at 136 likes. Let's get up to 145. We can do it. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, profile, link tree in the description, in my description. It will take you over to my YouTube channel. All right, Debo is hurt. Debo is hurt. Is he active? I believe he's active, right? Or is he inactive right now? Pick 1. Sutton, Tony, Scott. I already got that one. Melvin Gordon, Waddle, or Marvin Jones, Waddle. Kittle or Arnold, Kittle. Pick 1 PPR. Sutton, Tony, Scott. I would go with Sutton. What running back will have the most fantasy points in a full point PPR? I mean, are you saying this week? I mean, my RB1 for this week was Jonathan Taylor, so I'm going to stick with Jonathan Taylor. Tempting, but I need my RBs, man. Rest of the year, pick 2. Dearness Johnson, Ayuk, Bryan Edwards. Who to start today? So I would go with Ayuk and Brandon Edwards for the rest of the Bryan Edwards for the rest of the season. And who to start? I would go with Bryan Edwards today. What's your lineup? I mean, I have so many different lineups. Like, I'll pull it up here in a minute because I gotta set my lineups. Hurts or Herbert? Herbert. Darrell Williams, Boston Scott, or Emmanuel Sanders. I would go with Darrell Williams. AJ Brown or Mike Williams. I would go with AJ Brown. And Michael, we got Michael with a $2 donation. Michael, did you have a question as well? Oh, okay. Rest of the season, I saw it. So rest of the season, I would go. Michael, thank you for the $2 donation. And for your question, I'll answer it. I would go for rest of the year. I would go with Ayuk and Bryan Edwards. And then for today, I would go with Bryan Edwards. So Bryan Edwards and Ayuk for the rest of the season and Bryan Edwards today. And appreciate the $2 donation. Thank you. Should I trade Fournette and Michael Carter for Chubb? No, I wouldn't. Jerry Jeudy, Waddle, Gainwell, Pollard, D. Smith, Ertz, T. Higgins, Dearness Johnson. Need 2. I would go with Jerry Jeudy and T. Higgins there out of those groups, Lex. Start CMC or play it safe with Chuba. No, I would start CMC. I would fire up CMC today. Darrell Williams or Gaskin? I would go with Gaskin. Pick 2. We got Gordon, Hyde, McNichols, or Tony. I would go with Hyde and McNichols. McCaffrey or Gordon? McCaffrey. Should I start CMC? It depends on your other options, but yes. I mean, I would. Carlo, no, that's Herbert or Hyde, full point PPR. I would go with Hyde. I would go with Hyde over Herbert. We got Bryan Edwards, Russell Gage, or Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds for me. Tannehill or Tyrod Taylor. I would go with Tanny. McCaffrey or Gordon. McCaffrey. Need 1. We got Elijah Mitchell, Kadarius Toney, Emmanuel Sanders, Connor. I would go with Manny. I want to go with Elijah Mitchell. I would go with Elijah Mitchell there. I have Carr, Tyrod, Tua. Should I drop one of them? Pick up Adrian Peterson or Gronk. I would drop. I would drop if this is a 1 quarterback league. I would drop like Tyrod Taylor and just start Carr and pick up Gronk. Just traded Mixon for Saquon. Thoughts? I think that's solid. Yeah. You like this parlay? Let's hear the parlay. McCaffrey or Gordon McCaffrey. Pick 2. Boyd, Melvin Gordon, or Rondell Moore. Oof. I would go with Melvin Gordon and Rondell Moore. Garoppolo, Tannehill, or Brissett. Tannehill for me. T. Higgins or Waddle this week? T. Higgins. Tyrod Taylor, Jordan Love, Teddy B. Tyrod Taylor. Gesicki or Ertz? Gesicki. And we're caught up over on YouTube. Once again, smash that like button. We're at 138 likes. Come on, we can get up to 145. We can do it, people. Smash that like button. Also, if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. And if you're over on YouTube, consider joining up to be a member. You get your questions answered 100% of the time. All you got to type in is !membership, and it'll bring up the link. Click on the link. It will take you to the membership for YouTube. Number one thing that you get a green name tag. Also, you get a badge. And number one thing that you get with that, priority in chat. Every single time you ask a question, I jump to your question, get your question answered. So priority in chat. Sign up to be a member. Also helps support the channel. Thank you. Super chats are available as well. Taylor, Tannehill, Adrian Peterson, and McNichols, Renfro, or Devontae Booker, or Robert Woods. I would go with Devontae Booker. All right, so we have Carolina +3. I like that. Miami -4. I don't like that. Kansas City -7. Minnesota +7. I like it all besides Miami. If you I think the Texans upset them, but if you like that, I like the rest of it. Montgomery and Gaskin. What is that for? What's that for? Hyde or Devontae? Devontae. Who have flex? Renfro, Schultz, McNichols, Brian Edwards, Boston Scott. I would go with who have flex? Renfro, Schultz, McNichols. Just one of them? I would go with Schultz. Rest of the year, pick 2. Dearness Johnson, Ayuk. Who to start today? All right, so I would go with Ayuk, Brian Edwards, and I would start Brian Edwards today. Michael. Mike Davis, Tony Pollard, or Peterson. I would go with only one of them. I would go with Mike Davis. McLaurin or Chubb for Diggs. I would keep the other side. Renfro, Devontae Booker, or A-Rob, or Rob Woods at flex. I would go with Devontae Booker. Pick 2, Rondo Moore, McNichols, and Hyde. I would go with McNichols and Hyde. Start 2, non-PPR. We got Gaskin, Cordell, Elijah Mitchell. I would go with Gaskin and Elijah Mitchell there. Cool. I worded my other question badly. I have Carr, Tyrod, Tua, and Peterson. Who do I drop for Gronk? It's a 1-quarterback league. Okay. I would drop Tyrod. As long as you're not playing him today, I would play Carr over Tyrod, but I would drop Tyrod. Start 2, Beasley, Cooper, Cooks. I would go with Cooks and Cooper. Trade Alvin Kamara, Deontay Johnson, and for Aaron Jones and DJ Moore. No, I'd rather have the other guys, Kamara and the other side, because they've already had their bye weeks, and I just like them a little bit more. Anyways, I like that side more, so I would keep that side, Dylan. And we got a $5 donation. Mike Davis, Pollard, or Peterson, and Agnew or Ayuk. LOL, down bad. That is definitely down bad. So thank you for the $5 donation. Shout out to No Till. So what I would do here, okay? That's rough, all right? So I would go with Mike Davis, and then I would go with Ayuk, okay? Mike Davis and Ayuk. It's tough, but that's what I would do. Appreciate the $5 donation. Shout out to No Till. W's in chat for him. And we also have Mike. Is that MK? Yes, that was Mike. So shout out to Mike in chat for becoming a member. Becoming a member, number one thing he gets. Okay, okay, gotcha. All right, Michael. So he gets priority in chat. Priority in chat every single time he asks a question. All right, so Mike, once again, I feel like I answered this question a couple times though. So what I would do is, okay, Michael, I would do this. I would 2 players that I would pick, okay, would be Brandon Ayuk and Brian Edwards. Out of those 2 guys, Brandon Ayuk, I just think with Debo a little bit banged up right now, there could be a chance that he could find himself on IR with his calf injury. We've already seen it with a lot of these other players. So Ayuk and Brian Edwards with no more Henry Ruggs. And then who to start today, I would go with Brian Edwards just because you still have Debo playing. So that's my take on it. Peterson or Mike Williams? Mike Williams, how do you see the rest? How do you see Wentz for the rest of the season? Wentz? Is that what you mean? Wentz? I mean, I like Wentz. I liked him heading into this week. He's been really consistent. So I think Wentz is a solid streaming option every single week. A decent a lower end QB1, high end upside QB2 for the rest of the year. Renfro or Beasley? I would go with Renfro or Beasley. I would go with Renfro. Patterson or Chubb? Chubb. Emmanuel Sanders or Elijah Mitchell? I would go with Elijah Mitchell. Are you worried about Elijah Mitchell being limited today? Not a whole lot, to be honest with you, no. Is it a good trade? James Conner, Deontay for Jamar Chase and Tyler Higbee? Yeah, I already know what you're asking me there. I don't think that's that bad of a trade, honestly. I don't think that's bad of a trade. I was honestly considering accepting it last night. I don't think it's that bad of a trade. Emmanuel Sanders or Elijah Mitchell? Elijah Mitchell. Rondell Mooney or Gage? I would go with Rondell Moore. Adrian Peterson is going to be the starting running back tonight. What are your thoughts? I mean, I'd rather have McNichols, to be honest with you. Cordell Patterson, Robert Woods, or Marquise Brown in the flex. Marquise Brown for me. Cooks or McLaurin? Cooks. Please answer Russell Gage or Javonte Williams at flex. If you don't like Gage, should I drop him for Cobb? I mean, I would go Javonte Williams. I wouldn't drop Gage for Cobb, though. I don't really like Gage, though. Who should I start? Sutton or Floyd? I would go Sutton. Higgins or Landry? Higgins. Nick Chubb, multiple touchdowns? It could happen, certainly. Harris or Mitchell? Kind of uncertain about Mitchell. Who's that? Damian Harris? I would go with Damian Harris. Or Kittle or Goddard? Goddard. Gaskin, Damian Harris, or Darrell Williams? I would go with Darrell Williams. Only one of them, Darrell Williams. Gonna help Italia. Yeah, I know you tried. Honestly, I don't think it's that bad of a trade, though, to be honest with you. Sutton or Sutton. Deontay Johnson or Henderson? Henderson. Pick two. Gaskin, Booker, Woods, Judy. Gaskin and Booker for me, Tom. At Tyler at flex. Start Debo or Khalil Herbert? Debo. Tony, Adrian Peterson, Van Jefferson. Tony for me. Start Ayuk, Brian Edwards, or McNichols. I would go with Brian Edwards there. Miraz. I'm going to just say, hopefully Miraz, 79. I will go with Brian Edwards there. Kirk Cousins or Ryan Tannehill? Kirk Cousins. Do you think McNichols is worth the start? It depends on your other options. Pick two, we got Myles Gaskin, Khalil Herbert, or Zach Moss. Myles Gaskin for me. And I would go with Zach Moss. Flex, start Debo or Khalil Herbert. Gamer Dude, I would go with Debo. What's the word on Debo? I think he's expected to play. Thanks, you're welcome. No problem. Start Zeke? Absolutely start Zeke. Cousins or Tannehill? Cousins. Daniel Jones or Jordan Love? Daniel Jones. Do I start David Johnson? I wouldn't feel great about it. Would not feel great about that. Did you answer Kittle or Kirk at flex? Thanks. I would go with Kirk. Also, if you haven't, smash that like button. We're at 142 likes. Nearly 3 away from 150. Let's get to 150. Smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile. Go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over. Get your questions answered. And if you're on YouTube, and you want to get your questions answered 100% of the time, once again, sign up to be a member. Also, super chats are available. And consider checking out my Patreon, where you get rankings for as low as $1. I mean, weekly rankings for as low as $1. You just can't beat that. You know what I mean? Also, over on YouTube, you get your questions answered 100% of the time if you sign up to be a member. And in one of the tiers for the memberships, you also get your questions answered and get your rankings every single week. So sign up to be a member. Who's all on your fantasy team? I mean, I have so many different fantasy teams. I'm in like 20 different leagues. So I have so many different guys. But there's one guy, not my dynasty leagues. I don't have him in my dynasty leagues. I also don't have him in one other league. But all the other leagues I'm in, there's one guy that I have 100% in all those other leagues is DeAndre Swift. He's a guy that I have. I love DeAndre Swift. Go fact check me. Said all offseason, love him. Debo's injury is bad, though. Are you sure he will play? If you're, listen, like, here's the thing. I'm not always correct. I'm not a doctor. So if you're concerned about it, don't start Debo. Like, definitely go with another guy that you want to play. They said he's expected to play. So unfortunately, it is at 4 o'clock. So we won't know 100%. But if you're worried about it, go with the other guy that you want to start. Alex Agresti. Yo, what's up, Alex? We got Kirk or Emmanuel Sanders at flex. I would go with Emmanuel Sanders. Shout out to Alex. Yo, what's up, Alex? Debo's, no, what's the next one? Zach Ertz or Dallas Goedert? Dallas Goedert. Gaskin or Drake? Gaskin. Who do I start? Tua or Herbert? Tua's, I believe he's out this week. Or he's like an emergency quarterback, so Herbert. I would go Herbert regardless. Damian Harris or Devontae Booker? I would go with Devontae Booker. Start Julio or Myers? I would go with Julio. Swift isn't good. Gibson's better. Yeah, right. You wish. Yeah, right. Tyler Boyd or Rondell Moore. I already asked this question earlier, but I have Elijah Mitchell, and the only other guy I can play for him plays at 11. News just broke. Elijah Mitchell might not play. Do I risk playing Elijah Mitchell, or do I play it safe and start Gage? So did this, what? Who tweeted this? Who said this? That Elijah Mitchell might not play? So what's the news on Elijah Mitchell? Last I saw, he's expected to play. Barring setbacks, yeah. I mean, I would just fire up Elijah Mitchell, personally. I think he's going to play. Julio or Montgomery? All right, we'll go with Julio. Tony, Boyd, or McNichols? Tony. Start Herbert over Tua for sure. Yes, Herbert over Tua. Swift is a receiving back. Gibson is a CMC back. I mean, we haven't seen Gibson do any of that, so I don't know. Would you trade Dalvin Cook for Cooper Kupp? That's really close. Probably. I don't know. That's really close. ESPN Fantasy. Oh, don't listen to those noobs. Those noobs know nothing over there. No, psych. He might not play throughout the whole game. Yeah. So yeah, that's the thing with. Okay, here's the thing with Elijah Mitchell. He has a rib injury. All right, it's going to be more of a pain tolerance thing. I think as a football player, a guy that got through practice this week. Yeah, he didn't practice on Wednesday. A lot of guys don't practice on Wednesday, so I'm not worried about that. Practice the rest of the week. I think he's going to be good to go. You know that Jeff Wilson is right there, so I think that gives him an added incentive to stay in the game, to make sure he doesn't come out of the game, to make sure he keeps that gap between him and Jeff Wilson big. So I think he plays. I'm not too worried about Elijah Mitchell. Bro, why is Hill or Kupp in your flex spot? Who's that? Rondell Moore, Brian Edwards. I would go with Brian Edwards. DJ Moore, Devontae Adams. I would go with Devontae Adams. Gaskin or Drake. Gaskin, keep up the good work. Appreciate it. Thank you. DJ Moore, Samuel, DJ Moore. Henderson or Eckler. Higbee or Evan Ingram this week. I would go with Higbee. George Kittle or Dalton Schultz. Thanks, man. Much love. No problem. You're welcome, James. No problem. Elijah Mitchell, Devontae Smith, or Emmanuel Sanders. I would go with Elijah Mitchell. Please answer. I'm begging, please. Do I start Emmanuel or Chase Edmonds at RB2 or Elijah Mitchell and then put in Kirk at flex? So I would go with Edmonds and Elijah Mitchell, personally, James. What about Christian Kirk? I don't understand Kirk, though. Like, if you don't start one of those guys, I would go with, like, I would rather start Edmonds or Elijah Mitchell, personally. Like, that's what I would do. Thanks, G. No problem. You're welcome. DJ Moore or Samuel. DJ Moore. Debo, Gaskin, Cooper, Marquise Brown, Mixon. One wide receiver, one flex. My gosh. I would go with Mixon, and I would go with Marquise Brown. Should I start Montgomery? My backup is Boston. I would go with Boston Scott just because I'm not totally sure if David Montgomery is going to play. They say that he definitely is on track to play. It looks like he has a good chance to play, but I wouldn't trust it. I would go with Boston Scott. Jordan Howard or Salvin Ahmed. I would go with, honestly, Salvin Ahmed today. What do you think about DJ Moore, current state? Can we trust him? I think CMC coming back is going to help this offense in a big way. Kupp or Adams at flex? Kupp. Definitely Kupp. Emmanuel Sanders or Gaskin? Mixon or Debo? Mixon. Kirk is the only receiver if D-Hop doesn't play, though. Yeah, well, him and Rondell Moore. I think Chase Edmonds will be used a lot in the receiving game as well. Jordan Howard or Salvin Ahmed. Would I Danny Dimes or Tyrod? Danny Dimes. Thanks, bro. You're welcome. No problem. And once again, if you're over on TikTok, 71 people over on TikTok now is like down to 30. If you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree would take over to my YouTube channel. So come on over to YouTube, get your questions answered. Once again, click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over and get your questions answered. Kirk or Claypool? Kirk. Hey, PPR, Harris, Claypool, Higgins, or Devontae Booker. Different. I would go with Devontae Booker there. And different PPR, we got Higgins, Landry, or Boston Scott. Higgins for me. Herbert, CMC, Mitchell, Waddle. I would go with CMC, and I would go with Mitchell. I have Julio Jones as a breakout week this week. He should have a decent rest of the season, honestly. Tony, Boston Scott, Darrell Williams, Kupp or Eckler at QB spot. Huh? What? I would go with Kupp. Robert Woods or DJ Moore, please. I need a win. I would go with DJ Moore. Goddard or no, Kittle or Gage. Kittle. Jerry Jeudy, Hunter Renfrow, Jerry Jeudy. Gaskin, Emmanuel Sanders or Christian Kirk. I would go with Emmanuel Sanders. Landry or Sit. I mean, who's your other options? Or S. I don't know what S means. Pick one. We got DJ Moore, Julio or Van Jefferson. DJ plays against Jacksonville. No, I would go with DJ Moore. Gaskin or Damian Harris. Gaskin for me. In ESPN fantasy, can I keep someone in my IR if they're healthy? Because my situation, I have Tyrod in my IR spot, but I'm going to wait for him to play, then pick up Gronk. Will that work? Yeah, I think you just can't switch. So in ESPN fantasy, you can keep someone in your IR spot, but you can't actually like make a move, like start somebody or pick somebody up until you activate that person. So if you can keep them in your IR spot and you're already set, like I would just do that. Cooper, Gaskin. Javonte Williams, Carlos Hyde. Landry or Pitts. I would go with Landry. Or no, I would go with Pitts there. Hollywood Brown or Mike Williams. Mike Williams. Can you talk about Elijah Mitchell, please? And if to start him, I would start him, yes. I think, okay, here's my thoughts on Elijah Mitchell. He has a rib injury, all right? He's probably wearing protective, rib protection there, which they all do. Like all the running backs, well, not all the running backs. Some running backs have like that protection there for the ribs. So I'd imagine he has like a little jacket on or something like that to protect the ribs. So it's going to be more of a pain tolerance thing. And I just think that, okay, let's like, if you were an NFL player, right, and you had a pain tolerance thing, you would do everything in your power to stay on the field if you just had a dude activated off of IR that could take your job. Would you not? Like me personally, absolutely. I would do everything in my power. I don't care. I'd throw up on the sidelines if the pain is so bad to keep playing through my rib injury and not come off that field. That's my thoughts on him. It's not like a lower body injury where that definitely is something that could really affect his performance. No, this is a rib injury that's going to be a pain tolerance type of thing. So I think he's going to be, that's it. Pick up Hyde and start Gesicki over Pitts. I would do that. Do you think Hopkins is a good start, or should I start Golladay? I would start Golladay. What do you think about Boston Scott today? I mean, it's like meh. A low end RB2 that needs a touchdown. CMC or Khalil Herbert? CMC. Tonys or Sanders. Flex Robert Woods or Gesicki. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So, profile, link tree, YouTube channel. Come on over and get your questions answered. And I keep hitting my cord for my phone and it keeps unplugging my phone. All right. Landry or Julio? Landry. Danny Dimes or Tyrod? I'm sorry, Danny Dimes. Thoughts on Cole Beasley? I like Cole Beasley. I mean, I like him today. He's solid. PPR, we got Tony or Sanders, Flex, Robert Woods or Gaskin. And real quick, I need to take a quick moment here just to make sure all my starting lineups are good. With all the injuries. So I need to double check all my starting lineups, make sure I have all the guys I need to be playing in my starting lineups today. So a quick little moment here, and I'll get back to answering your questions. Believe that. All right, so looks good there. Jerry Jeudy. Let's check on Judge Judy. That looks good. Diggs in a blanket. Let's see. Looks good. Run CMC. Oh, I do have CMC. I'm going to just leave it as is and just fire up these other guys. Because I got to take CMC out of my bench spot, and I don't want to mess with that right now, or my IR spot. All right, that looks good as well. So all that looks good. My lineups look good. Now I got to check my ESPN leagues real quick. ESPN. Let's double check these leagues right quick. So, ESPN, we got Zeke. Zeke and Destroy, baby. I got Jonathan Taylor already played. My gosh, my team looks so good in this league. My team looks so good. All right. Get Swifty. Looks good enough. Looks as good as it's going to get. Aspire Sports. Keep it as is. And then we need to just check Sleeper, and I'm good to go. Sleeper. Who do I got? All my guys. Looks good enough. Hurts. Singletary. Darrell Williams. Looks good enough. And my last one is... Oh, yeah. Of course, I played Mike White, and he gets hurt. I need to adjust this. I have Devontae Parker. Start him. Parker get. All right, so we're good. Okay, officially good. Back to answering questions. All right. So should I pick up? No. I got it. Yo, I'm really thinking about starting Tony over DJ Moore this week. Am I crazy? I don't think you're crazy, but I would go DJ Moore. But do what you want to do. I think that Tony is a solid play as well. Should I drop OBJ for Tyler Boyd? No, I wouldn't. Full point PPR, Jarvis Landry or Zach Moss. At flex, I would go with, in full point PPR, I would go with Jarvis Landry. Would you start Marvin Jones over McNichols or Ayuk? I would, yes. I can't remember Bateman or Scott. Bateman for me. I'm really thinking, yeah, I mean, stolen fun. If you want to do that, go for it. Shout out to Mike White, the best quarterback on the Jets. Honestly, he did really screw me over in quite a bit of leagues, though, this week with him getting hurt. I know it's not his fault, but he looked like he was on pace for a really good game already. I mean, that game looked like it was high scoring, but it looked like it was definitely going to be more of a shootout with him as a quarterback. Jalen Hurts, Tyrod Taylor, or Kirk Cousins. Jalen Hurts this week. This has become my go-to for fantasy advice. Wanted to say thank you and appreciate the grind. The success is coming. You got a good fan here, Chief. Hey, appreciate it, Justin. Thank you. Honestly, it means a lot. Thank you for the kind words. Thank you. I really do appreciate it. Waddle or Mike Williams? Mike Williams. Christian Kirk, Gaskin, Tony, or Marquise Brown. I would go with only one of them. I would go with Marquise Brown there. Future Hall of Famer Mike White. Mike White screwed me as well. Yeah, it was. He definitely looked like he was going to have a solid game. I mean, I would definitely start on some leagues. I had no choice but to start him in like a 2-quarterback. Also in a dynasty league, literally I had nobody because I had Russell Wilson already hurt. Jared Goff was my backup quarterback he was on bye week, so I literally had nobody else. I had to fire him up. What's your best bet today? My best bet, if I had to pick one, I would say, okay, if I had to pick one, I like the Chargers 1. It's at 1 now? It's at 1? Was that 1.5? 1 point? Man, who wins today? The Eagles or the Chargers? I think the Chargers win. Like, I don't know. I like the Chargers today. That's probably my favorite bet. The spread, 1. I like the spread there. I like 1. Also, I like the Houston to cover. I like the Panthers to cover. And I like the Giants to cover. I also just like the money line for those teams. Should I start Kittle or Schultz? Schultz. Game mode, Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams. Will Mike Williams drop 35 or 2 this week? I'm going to say 14 this week. Ooh, 14. No, I think he's going to be decent this week. Eagles, baby. Eagles. I don't know. Rashad Bateman or Rondale Moore? Rashad Bateman. Melvin Gordon or Jerry Jeudy? Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy. And how much time do we got? We got 18 minutes till kickoff, people. Get your lineup set. Get your bets in. Get your DFS lineup set. Get all your stuff ready. I'm liking the Falcons for the upset. I was looking at that one as well. Start Marvin Jones over McNichols. I think the Falcons cover. I definitely think the Falcons cover. Like I would bet they cover the spread. +7. Give me the Falcons +7. Boston Scott or Christian Kirk. I would go with Christian Kirk. Keep Will Fuller or drop him. I would keep him one more week. It depends on who you're going to pick up. Jerry Jeudy or Tony. Jerry Jeudy, Jordan Love, or Jacoby Brissett. I would go with Jacoby Brissett. DJ Moore. No, that's so close. I would probably go with Jacoby Brissett. DJ Moore, Hollywood. I would go with Hollywood. No, I got to double check my rank. I want to say DJ Moore. DJ Moore, yes. Hollywood is 2 spots behind him. So close, really close. This one's really easy, but Judge Judy or Dirt Landry? Judge Judy. Jeff Wilson, Montgomery, or Kenyon Drake? Kenyon Drake, I guess. DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. I would love to play David Montgomery if I know he's starting, but I don't know. Jeff Wilson. I might go Jeff Wilson. I'd probably go Jeff Wilson. I'm running DJ Moore. I'm scared to. He's gonna pop off. Yeah, I think Christian McCaffrey coming back really helps out this offense. Any plans on doing a podcast? Like instead of just, I've always had plans. Like actually, yeah. Now that you say that, now that I'm actually making decent money on this channel right now, I'm gonna start paying for like a subscription for the. No, actually, I don't even think I have to. I think I can do it for. No, but there are. Yes, I will do a podcast and put it up on like Spotify. I definitely want to. There's also going to be a video this week. I was really slacking. I had a bunch of real life stuff going on this week, so the videos were really slacking this week. But this upcoming week should not be as busy. For I had a tree fall in my garage, just like in real life stuff, and of course it was from the neighbor's yard, so our insurance company has to cover it. Some BS there. Totally don't understand. But anyways, the insurance company will only cover the part that's actually on the garage, the part that's on the ground, and the part that they cut off on the ground. You have to take care of that. So I've been like doing tree removal stuff. So stupid. But anyways, real life stuff there. Hey, who cares? Browns upset. I think those Browns could definitely win. I'm going with Cincinnati though. Personally, I'm going with Cincinnati. McNichols or Javonte. I would go with Javonte. But now Tony is going to pop up. That always happens, you know. Start Marvin Jones over McNichols and Ayuk, right? I would go with Marvin Jones, yes. Personally, I would go with Marvin Jones over Ayuk, and who is the other one? McNichols, yes. Devontae Booker, Jarrell Williams, or McNichols. I would go with Jarrell Williams there. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button. Also, subscribe to the channel if you aren't already subscribed. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. It's not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over. Also hit that follow button, as I do live only TikTok live streams as well. So get notified when I go live. So come on over, get your questions answered. All you got to do is, once again, click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. All right. Oh, dang. Hope the garage isn't messed up too bad. No, it's not too bad. Luckily, okay, I'm going to tell you the story. Literally, I guess it wasn't close to death. I feel like kind of. The tree is a massive tree, and thankfully, like, it had a lot of distance to cover, but still, like, the top of it hit it. But it was like, honestly, it wasn't a windy day or anything. Like, I don't understand how it fell over. It was an older tree for sure. But I was getting in the car. I was taking my kids to school. I was in the car. The car was in the garage, and all of a sudden, I hear this loud, like, boom. It sounded like thunder, and my daughter was like, was that thunder? I was like, there's no way that was thunder, because it wasn't raining, and it didn't really sound like thunder. And I pull out of the garage, and I see the tree laying on top of the garage. Like, literally, me and my kids could have been crushed. Like, it's crazy. It was like really crazy to think of that. It's one of those things that's just like, if that tree was closer to our yard and that trunk would have fell on our garage, definitely would have smashed our garage, probably would have smashed me inside the car. So it's just one of those things, like, wow, like, appreciate life, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a crazy experience. Start Marvin Jones over McNichols and Ayuk, right? Yes, I would. Allen Robinson is set and forget on the bench. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Definitely. Jeff Wilson or Chuba this week? Neither. I guess if I had to start one, I would fire up Chuba, I guess. I don't really want to start either one. Malik Brown, Deontay for sure. What is the question? Was there a question? Deontay or Brandon Cooks or T. Higgins at flex? Anybody? I would go Deontay Johnson. Patterson, Jacobs, or Cooks. Pick 3. I would go with Patterson, Cooks, and Hollywood. Man, that's crazy. Glad you're all good. Appreciate it. Kittle or Gesicki? Gesicki is more a start if D-Hop isn't playing. Yes, I would fire. I would fire him up. If you have Kyler, would you start Jacoby now or wait to see? No, I would start Jacoby now. Yes, I would start Jacoby now. Tony or McNichols, I would go with Tony. Bateman or A.J. Dillon, Bateman. Van Jefferson, Rondell Moore, or Mike Williams, Mike Williams. Burrow or Herbert. Ertz or Conklin, I would go with Ertz. Tony, Renfro, Mooney, or Tim Patrick. I would go with Renfro there. Start Marvin Jones over McNichol and Ayuk, right? Yes, I would. Miraz. I would start Marvin Jones over both of them, yes. And once again, smash that like button. Let's get up to 160 likes. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. All right, let's get it. We got 10 minutes. It's now the Witchin hour. The Witchin hour has begun. This is the questioning hour. That's what I like to call it. And also, if you haven't seen my other slogan, I'm going to trademark it. It's always be sending. Okay, always be sending. It means always be sending trade offers. I'm going to trademark it. So always be sending. Tannehill or Cousins, I would go with Kirk Cousins. Pick one: Pat Freiermuth, Ertz, Dan Arnold, or Albert O. I would probably go with Dan Arnold there. They're all like very iffy, but I would probably go with Dan Arnold. Tannehill or Kirk Cousins, but is Mike Williams going to be covered by Darius Slade? Do I still go with him? Absolutely. Fire him up. Elijah Mitchell, Boston Scott, or McDaniels? Elijah Mitchell. Start Jones over McNichols and Brandon Ayuk. I keep losing. Yes. Miraz. Yes, I would do that. Yes, I would do that. Start Brandon. I would start Marvin Jones over both those guys. Yes. We got Ayuk, Jacoby Myers, or Galladay in a half-point PPR. Thanks for the advice on this tough decision. No problem. I would go with Galladay. Ertz, Freiermuth, Dan Arnold, or Alberto. I would go with Dan Arnold. Pick one: Emmanuel Sanders, Rashad Bateman, or Brian Edwards. Emmanuel Sanders. Do you think Michael Pittman will move forward as a solid wide receiver number 2? Yes, I do. I think. Hey, I've talked about it. You can go check. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, make sure you watch my videos. Make sure you watch my videos. I've been talking about Michael Pittman for weeks now, that you should be trading for him. I said that like weeks ago. This was weeks ago. His air yard share looked good. His target share was good. He was seeing a bunch of red zone targets. He was the only guy inside like the top 20 that hasn't scored a touchdown despite his red zone targets. It all was going to come. It all was lining up for a big breakout season for Michael Pittman. So absolutely, I think he's going to be good for the rest of the season. Shenault or Agnew? I would go with, honestly, Agnew. Who do I place Kyler with? I think guys, if they're available, Daniel Jones, Ryan Tannehill, Tyrod Taylor, Jacoby Brissett. Like those are all guys. Jordan Love. Mike Williams or CeeDee Lamb? I would go with CeeDee. Hyde or Javonte? Hyde. Jeff Wilson, Tony, Jacoby Myers, or Rashad Higgins? I would go with Tony. Start 2 wide receiver and a flex. Julio, A.J. Brown, Van Jefferson, CeeDee. I would go with A.J. Brown and CeeDee. And quarterback, Dak or Hurts? Dak. Help, Marvin Jones or McNichols over... yes. Yes, Miraz, I would do that. Marvin Jones. Yes, Marvin Jones over McNichols and Ayuk. Yes. Do I sit Damian Harris? I wouldn't sit him. Well, it depends on your other options. Javonte Williams or Hunter Renfrow, standard scoring. I would go with Hunter Renfrow. MVS, Robbie, Zay Jones, pick up off the waiver. If you have to pick one of them, I would go with Robbie, I guess. Fire up Robbie. Pick 2, we got Claypool, Damian Harris, Waddle, or Jerry Jeudy, and I would go with Damian Harris. Damian Harris or Carlos Hyde? Damian Harris. Melvin Gordon, Marvin Jones or Ayuk? Marvin Jones. Cooks or Hollywood? I would go with Hollywood. Boston Scott, Derek Gore, or James Conner? James Conner. Rams D or Bengals D? Rams D. Any predictions for streamer players that Alves has a huge game? What's that? For streamer players that have a huge game? Like what classifies as a streaming player? No, okay. Why Darnold over Freiermuth or Cook? Because Dan Arnold last week saw 10 targets. This team's going to have to throw the ball a lot. They're going to be playing from behind. It's a tough matchup for sure. But like since Dan Arnold has come over to the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's second on the team in targets. And I believe he's first on the team in catches. I could be wrong about that, though. Like he's a big part of this offense, and he's a solid athlete in the game that they're going to be playing from behind. Man, I love Pittman, but I also got Diggs, Jefferson, and Williams, so I've got no room. I feel that. No, definitely. You a homie. No, you a homie. Rock Daddy with A.J. Brown and CeeDee at wide receiver. Who do I start, Julio or Van Jefferson? I would go Julio. Patterson, Jacobs, Cooks, Hollywood, pick 3. Patterson, Cooks, Hollywood, pick 3. That's who I would pick. Help. Start Marvin Jones over McNichols and Ayuk, right? Yes. Mirage. Marvin Jones over them. Yes, yes, yes. Happy to be a member. Thank you. I'm happy you're a member. All right. Sorry. I sent to so many times. I needed it. No problem. You're fine. Cooks, Cooper, or Debo. Pick one of them. I would go with, I want to say Debo, but I'd probably go with Cooks just because he's very iffy. MJJ over McNichols. Right, Ozai. Hollywood, Sutton, or Jacoby Myers. I would go with Hollywood. Mixon or CMC, Mixon. Elijah Mitchell or Carlos Hyde, Elijah Mitchell. And real quick, if you haven't already, do me a big favor, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. Let's get up to 160 likes. We're at 154 likes. Let's get up to 160 likes. If you haven't already, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Not as busy. Get your questions answered. All you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So come on over, get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile, go to my link tree. My link tree will take you over to my YouTube channel. So get your questions answered. And if you're over on YouTube and you want your questions answered 100% of the time, believe me, I'm trying to answer everybody's questions. Sign up to be a member. It's as low as $2.99. You sign up, $2.99 a month. That's as much as $1, a couple dollar cheeseburgers off of the dollar menu over at, McDonald's. So sign up to be a member. I'll put it in the chat. All you got to do is put an exclamation point membership. You sign up to be a member. Also, super chats is another way to 100% get your questions answered. There's different tiers for memberships. Also, my rankings are over on Patreon. It's as low as $1. Sign up over there for $1. You get my rankings, all that. So sign up to be a member. Get your questions answered. All right, back to it. We got Shanna. We got Boston Scott, Kirk, or Jerry Jeudy. I would go with Jerry Jeudy. I got 195.2 points last week and a 12. That's really good. It's really solid. Landry or Waddle. Chubb or CMC. Chubb. Mayfield or Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. Sutton or Kirk. I would go with Kirk. No, I would go with Sutton there. Choose one. Rondell Moore or Mooney. Rondell Moore. Wide receiver playing AD. Who's AD? Drawing a blank here. Landry or Waddle. I would go with Waddle. Myles Gaskin or Jarrell Williams? Myles Gaskin. Sutton or Kirk? Sutton. Jeremy McNichols or Javonte? Honestly, I would go with Jeremy McNichols as long as it's PPR. Agnew, Singletary, AP, or Jerry Cook? I would go with Singletary there. Wide receiver and a flex. We got Waddle, Tony, Jeudy, Devontae Smith. I would go with Jerry Jeudy and Waddle there. Pollard or James Conner? James Conner. James Conner. All right, 4 more minutes till kickoff. Get those lineups set. Get some questions, or get your bets in. Get your DFS plays in. Get your questions answered. Got 4 more minutes. Make sure you hit that follow button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting my waiver wire video tonight. Make sure you check that out. So waiver wire video will be out. My over on TikTok as well. I'll post my own little waiver wire video over there. So make sure you check it out. And if you're over on TikTok, come on over to YouTube. Get your questions answered. Once again, all you got to do is click on my profile. Go to my link tree. My link tree will take over to my YouTube channel. We got Mayfield or Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones. Woods or Waddle. I would go with Waddle. Pick 2 out of 3. We got Mitchell, Gaskin, and Emmons. I would go with Mitchell and Gaskin. Jacoby Myers or Rashad Higgins. I would go with Jacoby Myers there. Zach Moss or CJ Uzama. Zach Moss. I really need Carlos Hyde to do it today. I'm in bad shape. I think that there's definitely a chance. Like, he's going to see decent volume, especially in the passing game. Bateman or Schultz? I would go with Schultz. Pick 2, we got McNichols, Hollywood, Claypool, half-point PPR. I would go with Hollywood, and I would go with McNichols. I traded Cooks, Kittle, and Landry for Jamar Chase and Chris Godwin. Did I win? You traded Cooks, Landry, and Kittle for... Yeah, absolutely. I think you won, Johnny. That's a solid trade on your end. Yes. I like that trade. Absolutely. Myers or DJ Moore? DJ Moore. AP or Boyd? Boyd. Mitchell or Waddle? Mitchell. All right, 2 more minutes, people. Get your last questions in. 2 more minutes, and then I'm going to order myself a pizza. I don't even care. I'm eating pizza today. I'm eating pizza. for the football games. Gonna eat some pizza and work on my waiver wire video while the football games are going on and pig out on the couch. I don't even care today. Don't care. Don't care. Bateman or Renfro? I would go with Renfro. I already got that one. Wide receiver 2, Agnew or Van Jefferson? Van Jefferson. Myers or Pitts? Pitts. Samuel or Lamb? Lamb. Please answer this. Cooks or Myers? Cooks. Good luck to everyone. Thank you. You're welcome. Uzama or Freiermuth? I would go with Freiermuth. Do you watch Red Zone? Yes, I watch Red Zone, especially with the Steelers not being on. I'll watch Red Zone. I love Red Zone. Let's go Titans over Rams. Oh, Titans over Rams, huh? As long as there's a lot of points scored, I don't care who wins that game. This random, but do you have solar panels, bro? If so, do you like them? I'm debating on whether or not I should get them from my house. I don't have solar panels. No, I don't. I live in a place that I mean, I probably could do solar panels, but I live in Erie, PA, so it's not super sunny in Erie, especially like because it snows and everything. So I'd imagine like I'd have to move like the snow off of my solar panels. I don't know if I'd imagine that they can still exist in places like that, but like Erie is one of these snowiest. We nearly broke the record for the snowiest season like a couple years ago ever recorded on history. We almost broke Buffalo's record. So like it's awful. Yeah, Red Zone's the best. How do you feel about Pitts this game? I like Pitts. It's a tough matchup, but I mean, without Calvin Ridley, he's going to be relied on a lot. I thought it was always sunny in Philadelphia. Hey, I don't live in Philly. I mean, that's the opposite side of the state. Complete opposite side of the state. Where I live, it's cold already. It's been cold for like a month now. It's been like in the 40s. It's constantly cold. It's rarely sunny. It's always windy. The weather is pretty terrible. But we do get 4 seasons, which is really sweet. 7 hours of commercial-free football starts now. It starts now. Let's go. Football Sunday. We're live. All right. So for everybody out there, sign Big Ben for 3 more years. Please do not sign Big Ben for 3 more years. Please do not. Please do not. Also, all right, I'm going to hop off here. I'll be live tomorrow. I'm going to go live tomorrow night. Maybe I always say I'd maybe live tonight, but depends on when I get my waiver wire video. So I'll be live later. Make sure you check out the waiver wire video. Make sure you hit that follow button, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of good stuff. So appreciate everybody hanging out. Good luck in your fantasy football matchups today. And once again, if you're over on TikTok, make sure you hit that follow button. Come over to YouTube. Yeah. So appreciate you guys. Peace out. Peace out, people. Good luck this weekend.